balance changes for SMGs and the Panzerfaust, some updates to the recall system, and a PvE collaboration flush with interesting enemies. All this and more as we dive into the Update 38.1 patch report. First up, we're doing a balance shuffle for SMGs and the Panzerfaust this update. Across the board, SMGs will have less accurate hip fire, and the MP5K is also seeing a slight reduction in damage. For the Panzerfaust, players will now be restricted from running, jumping, and vaulting while wielding this powerful weapon. And players inside a vehicle will be protected a bit, taking reduced damage from its blast. There are a couple more changes as well to make sure there's enough risk to the Panzerfaust's reward. So let us know how these changes feel. Next, the recall system is getting some alterations. Time required to register blue chips beyond the first will now increase by 5 seconds for each additional chip being registered. We've also added information about how many players are returning to the Battlegrounds with each recall, and have removed the Phase 6 recall on 8x8 maps. Once again, let us know how these changes feel once you get in-game. Next, we're dressing up a bit for spooky season with an arcade mode that gives new meaning to the term crapshoot. In this collaboration with the popular internet show Skibidi Toilet, you'll assemble your squad of 4 and plunge into Miramar to clench victory against the toilet invasion. Collect chemical cans to upgrade your weaponry and make flushing your enemy that much easier. Can your squad save Bidet? Or will you get wiped and end up number 2? Will this announcer ever run out of crappy puns? Log in and put a lid on the invasion starting October 22nd on PC and October 30th on console. We've also added destructible terrain to Miramar, which doesn't include building destruction, and updated the pass system to allow for multiple passes at once. This allows us to introduce an event pass tied to the new arcade mode, while still launching a new survivor pass. Now you can work on both at the same time. There's also a new ranked season, destructible gas tanks on Destin, map bug fixes, and more. So be sure to check out the patch notes for full details. Update 38.1 is here, so recall some friends, aim down the sights of those SMGs, and dump some rounds into the Skibidi toilets. We'll see you on the Battlegrounds.
Welcome to Season 6 of PUBG Reddit Custom Games. Good evening, everybody, wherever in the world you might happen to be. I'm Jorisar. Joining me for tonight's wonderful festivities is Invi-san. Invi, how are you doing, buddy?
Back again, 3 months in a row. I initially wanted to play, but they told me I'm too bad, so I'm here.
If you're too... What? Oh, I see what's going on here. Fine. I thought we were going to be the team captains. I was excited to have the finally get the MP5 versus UMP showdown, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen today. Sad, man.
Not for us. Unfortunately. We just can't blame Dell for that.
I mean, I'd blame Dell for everything, and I still do. It's not even a hypothetical at this point. If something goes wrong in tonight's broadcast, we all know where to point the finger. How have you been, though, Envy? 3 months in a row, like you said. It's been quite fun watching all of these customs go down. How have you enjoyed the games? Talk to me a little bit about what it's been like.
I have enjoyed them a ton. I'm looking forward to today, because we do have Blame Dell again. Last time we didn't have Dell with us, so there was a Blame Dell mode, but without Dell, so it wasn't as funny. But yeah,
I mean, I'm impressed, right? We got Dell here. That's a victory in itself. I feel like we have the chicken dinner in advance.
Indeed. Well, let's check out the prizes and format first. We have 5 games today, custom game modes. Read the rules. This one is important, because otherwise you might get kicked from it. And then gain points, climb up the ladder. We have 7k G coins in total for the top 5 players of the season. And 10 random players today will earn 500 G-Coin each, so 5k G-Coins in total.
Now, you say read the rules. Does that mean that if we get to Blame Dell and we don't tab out of our game and blame Dell in chat, we get kicked? That's what you're saying here, really?
Maybe. In this case, it's Blame Llama.
Oh, okay, a little bit different this time. Be interesting to see how that changes over the course of the evening. So Praise the Lord is game number 1. We're going to have flare guns. I feel like most people will be relatively well-versed in what Praise the Lord is. We then have a fun couple of games where we've got light and cold to begin with. It's bicycles and handguns on Vikendi. And then game 4, I'm going to hop over game 3 for a sec. We've got hot and heavy, where it's only Panzerfaust on Paramount. I am looking forward to that one. Sandwiching them, of course, you got Blame Dell as game 3. And then we end with Mad Max, classic customs game.
Indeed. With crossbows and vehicles only, this will be one of my favorites. And then, obviously, points for today. For every game you join, you get a point. Every 5 minutes you survive, you get another point. First place gets 7, second place gets 5. Then we have 4 points for the third place, 3 points for the fourth place, 2 points for fifth, and 6 to 8 get 1 point additionally, plus bonus points from missions.
So here are the extra missions that you could be getting yourself a couple of points for tonight. I like mission 1. They said it would give me wings. You have to be boosted for at least 404 seconds. So presumably that is something to do with error consciousness not found if I drink that many energy drinks. You then have the mission that is smoker. This one I think is the easiest one. Use more than 4 smoke grenades. And here's a fun one. Break between 20 and 25 windows. So how good are you at counting prior to, or maybe even during, a firefight? This one's going to be good.
Yeah, indeed. Plus, every mission can only be completed once. The mission has to be completed in one game, so if you boost every game, it won't count for that 404 seconds, especially as well for the 20 to 25 windows. You have to do that in one game, and you have to at least survive 3 minutes in a game.
And there is an, oh my goodness, take a look at this. I thought we'd seen enough of this clip. So this is Dell being functionally useless repeatedly. And there's an extra mission tonight, and that is if you do not pick up any weapons and you somehow manage to survive at least 5 minutes, you get a bonus 2 points. The question is, though, Envy, which game would you do this in?
Every game. I know Bafish, who's in that clip facing off against Dell, he's doing that in every single one.
I mean, when you've got Dell next to you, I feel like you're perfectly safe doing that, as the clip clearly demonstrates. So if you fancy joining in this evening, go to the Reddit PUBG, the Reddit PUBG Discord server. We'll try that again, but you get the idea. Discord.gg/PUBG Reddit. And then you will see the Custom Games info channel, and you should be able to see when each game is up, alongside the password for this evening under Custom Game. So make sure you find the lobby in-game as well and enter the password. Don't wait until we're just about to start the game. If your game has to patch or something and you're suddenly delayed, you might miss the game start.
And that would be totally your fault. As well as one of the
Dell's
players
fault.
who's getting faulted today is Llama. Llama joins us again as participating content creator together with Daz. And Llama had the idea for match number 3, which has been a bit upgraded, or yeah, made a bit more heavy by Dell. Nonetheless, that info is from him.
That's going to be interesting. So well, Blame Dell is essentially impossible to predict anyway. So I don't really know what a llama flavored Blame Dell looks like, but I guess we'll figure it out when we get to game number 3. We've got a couple of games to go before we move there. Is there a favorite game mode you have, Envy? Is there anything in particular you are most looking forward to tonight?
It's always the Mad Max.
Always Mad Max.
It's the most fun, always.
I'm a sucker for Panzerfausts, so I'm thinking game 4 is going to be pretty good, but we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see about match number 3 too as well. But yeah, this right here are our highlights of season 5, month 3. As you can see, Squad, the team of Kazoo and Co, was one of the worst to come against them or face off against. So if you find them on the battlegrounds, not quite sure if you want to face off against them.
In the future, you might find yourself in this highlight reel as well. These, of course, are some of our wonderful moments from previous iterations of customs. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you make some delicious memories with the rest of us as we navigate our way through the custom game modes that we will be playing this evening. Make sure to submit your plays and maybe even let us know if they weren't visible on screen or you did something off screen. Let the admins know. Christ. Let the admins know, and one of these, even if they're not captured on the stream, we might go back and hunt for it.
Fish in most of those. Like I said, if someone is going for that no holds barred kind of match without weapons and utility, it's Baffish. And additionally, King MDS with that kill, and that was an honor to cast this. But before we will return with match number 1, we'll hop over for a quick break. Let's see who wins that last fan fight. Will it be Noctel or Fatal, or will it be its Fury? And in the end, it's Fury gets the winner chicken dinner.
Show me the way, break my chain. Show me the way, set me free. Show me the way, break my chain. Show me the way, set me
Welcome back, folks. We are about to get started and move into game number 1. We've got 5 game modes for you this evening as we start off season 6. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our first game mode is going to be.
Let's praise the Lord. Flare guns all around with guns and armor from crates. 100 crates each phase. So if you find enough flare guns, you'll have enough loot, more than enough. Plus limited BRDMs, because we don't want to well, spoiling the fun with all the BRDMs. And then this is being played on a Erangel first-person squad mode.
I do think that's going to be a thing, though, because a lot of the time in flare gun games, if you get a couple of squads that are doing particularly well, generally speaking, I would expect them to have BRDMs in the end game, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like just even if everyone has crate weapons and you're able to, how do I put it? You're able to destroy the BRDMs quickly. Just having that HP in the vehicle that lets you make one more rotation in phase 6 or phase 7 often makes all the difference here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of BRDMs amongst the top teams.
Yeah, plus, additionally, you don't have the Panzers, which would be a surefire way to shoot somebody out of that BRDM. And additionally, with the newest update, you will not be one-shot anymore with the Panzer in the vehicle. So that's a difference. It makes like 20% less damage than it did before.
I thought you were going to say it makes life 20% easier.
If you're in the BRDM, then yes.
Yeah, true. Very true.
If you're on the outside, then not.
Then not so much. Exactly. All right. Well, we'll see what people choose to do, but I would expect the BRDMs to feature heavily. What's your favorite crate weapon? What would you gun for?
P90 all the way.
Yeah, it's got to be a P90, right? I mean, I love the Mark 14. I absolutely adore it. But for me,
that's a close second, definitely.
I think P90 is absolutely the way to go. So we're shortly going to find out who is going to walk away with the chicken dinner from match 1. Don't forget as well, though, of course, we've got plenty of points on offer. We have all sorts of stuff going on with the additional missions that people can go for. So there's plenty to be thinking about, not just who else is in front of you on the minimap.
And if you play, you have the chance to win G-Coins. So ! Join in chat if you want to play and win G-Coins.
Here we go. Game number 1. Praise the Lord. And we are on Erangel. Now, I have to say, fairly easy to drop and not loot for a couple of minutes to get those bonus points, because you can just have your teammates, for example, grab everything for you in terms of loot. That said, to what extent do you want that to happen? So is everyone not going to fire flare guns? You then risk properly getting behind. So in terms of the bonus missions, there are still a couple of questions to answer, I would say.
Definitely. First to drop out is Dell, in this case, going for Georgia Ball. Nobody else dropped there. Everybody, well, decided to leave a bit more time before they will jump out. Like, second one is Luana, quite close to the coastline as well. And the last ones to drop out are Mansell and his teammates close to Milter. Let's see, Baffish this time is not solo in his team. He definitely will not get any weapons as far as I know him. So we'll see what he will do in this mode.
Yeah, there's going to be certainly going to be some questions to be asked of Baffish. Where will he be able to land where he doesn't have to worry about the potential of someone shooting him? I think he'll be fine in this mode as long as he has teammates that are willing to help out. That's my prediction.
At least he has at least one, so we'll see how that works for him. They landed on the Ferry Pier Bridge on Milter. We're at the end of the Ferry Pier Bridge, not Milter, on Sosnovka Island. So they might have some time, depending how the circle shifts. We'll see how that goes. And that is an awful lot of flare guns we already see here.
100 in each phase of the game, if I recall correctly. So that gets reset to another 100. We have got up to 20 BRDMs, but you have to properly get towards the edge of the map to use those. It's unlikely that we're going to see all 20 of those casually dropping in on the edges of the map. We're probably going to see that a little bit more in phases 2 and 3.
Holy smokes, there's an awful lot of planes coming in for airdrops. Just dropping over there. Let's see what the players will find in them. Hopefully for them, no DBS, because I doubt that most of the players will take those.
That would be potentially devastating if you just got squads of people using that in the late game for sure. Here come the drops. All 100 have been used up, so that's fairly quick. Strong stuff there. And everyone will be waiting for the initial weapons to drop out of the sky. I haven't... Let me see. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. You know what? It should be relatively easy, I would say, for someone to get a decent number of bonus points for not picking up a weapon in the first 5 minutes. As long as you have a team that are willing to call in the flares, you don't actually have to pick anything up yourself. So this might be a prime opportunity to grab a few extra delicious points for the leaderboard.
Most likely. If you remembered that mission and, well, tried it, we can see somebody is using the flare guns to shoot at each other. So, well, Lightbite, Das, Direct are getting shot at from the top of Roger Kill. Omalama already on one of the airdrops. Getting a weapon most likely. There's more coming down every minute and every second of the game. So this will be interesting to see what the players will choose to play with. Lightbite with the Groza here. Cassie has found an MG3.
Oh, delicious.
And an AWM. So.
Yep, that's a pretty good combo, to be fair. If I could pick another maybe I would pick the Lynx, and that's a maybe. Because if you find multiple AWMs, I don't know, if you grab more and you can find a way to grab extra ammo for it, then maybe the AWM. But certainly plenty of choices available for our players here, and both of those weapons very, very dangerous all the way through to the late game. So loving those initial choices there from Cassie.
And the first rotation is a go, as we see on top in the direction of Yasnaya Puyana. We can see that Wolf or Ajib Rajin, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. That was pregnant Jin are going for the loot. MK14 has been found as well as the AWM by them. So let's see if they have enough ammo for the onslaught. Because if you only find ammo in the crates, it might not be enough for the MK14.
Oh, yeah, but you'll be fine by the time you get 2 or 3 crates, though, right? Because I'd imagine there'd be several hundred. I guess, to be fair, I'd be more worried about the MG3, because even if you found 3 crates worth of ammo, that's only, what, 30 seconds worth?
Yeah. Considering normally you have, like, 90 shots in there. 30 to 90, depending on what weapon is in there. That might not be enough for an MG3, not even remotely. So if you're lucky and find more ammo, and we have our first fight over here. BSB, that's which team that is against the Answer to Life.
I'm going to guess that the way we should be pronouncing that player name is Next Level. But that was almost unnecessary in terms of risk taking. I think we are very, very lucky on the part of Block All Aces that he's not currently dead.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, fighting 1 against, I guess it's 4, considering that Naive and Viber are not there yet, but he still has to face off against 2, and that might be not in his favor. Because we see the first DBS has been found its hands as well, but Block All Aces has the C4 in hand, so that might be in his favor, facing off against more than one opponent.
Sneaking back through to the compound. I think what the Answer to Life are pondering right now, that's a phrase I never thought I'd be uttering, is that, isn't it interesting that we haven't had that many bullets rain our way so far? Maybe it's not a full squad here. Maybe we can push in, and they would be correct in that assessment.
Yeah, Talented with the first kill of the match. Well, we can see that Chinese Disliker and Titan the Cat are having a dance-off in the underground cellar of the church in Pochinki.
That's a strong party room right there. I'm loving that. couple of questionable things on the floor there, but all in all, looks like they're having a good time. And what's with Wazir in the corner being given time out by his parents? What's going on there?
Maybe it's like that. You're not allowed to party with us.
Exactly.
You did not loot, man. Maybe he's going for the challenge of not picking up a weapon, but he had a weapon on his back. So,
okay.
Yeah, maybe he just does not want to move for that amount of minutes, or he's currently at the toilet. Who knows?
Now, what's interesting here is that anyone who hadn't picked up a weapon yet, it's obviously been more than 5 minutes since the game has started. So,
oh my gosh.
quite clear. Oh, wow. That's impressive.
We are building drop towers.
Exactly. Because it's been more than 5 minutes since the game started, you would have gotten those bonus points by now. But the problem is there are 0 crates left, so you have to survive until phase 2, until that counter resets to 100. It's not as easy as waiting, picking up the flare gun and firing it immediately, because if you did that right now, it wouldn't be particularly useful. Phase 2 has now popped, so now whoever has gotten those bonus points has to find a way into the next circle and then fire their flare guns afresh.
Kachape is all trying to prohibit Armalama's team from advancing and taking out his teammates. RP, though, with a good angle, might have seen him there. It's coming out. Demaye trying to get them knock in, and they do it. Well done.
Oh,
Trade, though. As Armalama finds one as well. And from the side, it's a Lynx with a knock against Kachape.
yeah, that's going to be it, unfortunately. I think someone might have a self-revive. But otherwise, Armalama's glider team should be able to get back up. There we go. You can see Klim there with the self-revive. He needs to heal. I don't actually think he'll get to his teammate in time, unfortunately. So it is very much a solo 1v3. Whoa! And the Lynx with the headshot gets absolutely devastating. Mars immediately deleted.
Yeah, the question is, will it help? Most likely they are able to get it back. Still another check by Demaye, but that nade from Jam sits perfectly, and therefore the first team, or the second team, has been eliminated. Well done by Armalama's gliders.
Very nicely done there. So, unfortunately, still sustaining some casualties, but there may be opportunities to bring their teammates back momentarily. We can see... oh, I love that. I'm almost certain Patrick has gotten the bonus points for the 5 minutes without picking up a weapon. You can see him just northwest of Rozok there, playing as a solo by the looks of things. Oh, and unfortunately, Fire, there was an opportunity for you to get a kill there. He'll have to settle for the teammate on the roof, but the crate itself blocking his line of sight.
Yeah, that was unlucky for him. Lucky for the team of the Sleepy Chickens. Oh no, Chicks Army. Well, we can see that another player has found his maker. Vadir has been eliminated.
Ouch.
Fire with an awful nice shot against Young Quality. 4 bullets remain in his Lynx, though. And unfortunately for him, there's a teammate there who can go for the rest.
He'll just go and pick up another one once those 4 bullets are done. Don't worry about it. If you're going to keep getting knocks like that, you can just keep whittling down the helmets, the armor. Not a problem at all. But of course, with the crates being dropped, you don't know how quickly they're going to be able to replenish. So it's not always that simple. Gliders now out in full force, as we can see. Several already flying around the map. I have a feeling this isn't going to feature too massively heavily in the initial phases of this game. But if we still see a couple in phase 4, phase 5, they're going to become very big targets.
And most likely, next big target right here is the Pan Smashers. Who are getting shot at, or who is getting shot at.
No.
And has, well, to leave his BRDM, which explodes after that onslaught. And therefore, the Pan Smashers are eliminated on rank 90. Well, we can see that Dell is dancing on his little tower of loot drops.
Just Dell doing Dell things. Love to see it. Mark 14 here as opposed to a Lynx, unfortunately, so can't quite damage people inside the BRDM, but there is plenty of opportunity to do a ridiculous amount of damage, preserving the ammo on the P90 in case someone gets out. That's got to be the strategy at some point. Get wrecked, being very patient, and I think the guys inside the BRDM know as well. Be careful. He's not shooting the vehicle. He's keeping the bullets for us. Very, very sensible strategy.
A very, very good strategy as well. Even though the P90 is one of the weapons with the most bullets in the airdrop, still, you have to be careful not to get run over by the BRDM, because that's still a technique you can use. And considering that we have 3 players at least in that BRDM, I would say, yeah, 3 players. From Lookma, I'm on Twitch. You don't want that BRDM to get blown up that fast. You want to play it in the late game.
We were watching there. The bullet dodgers make their way into zone. Phase 3 has now been called. 147 drops still remaining. The Answer to Life, who we followed extensively at the beginning of the game, seem to be down to 2. Unfortunately, half their team have been eliminated now, and I don't really think there's much prospect of their blue chips getting collected either. It looks like the rest of the team are happy to live and fight another day.
Yeah, Fire is on fire. 3 kills so far for him. That should take him in the lead, at least for the moment, when it comes to kills. While we see that the circle has shifted eastern, and that means, oh, Mars is getting resurrected over there. Coming back into the game quite close there to Dell, and maybe he will be able to loot from Dell's little tower there.
Thing is, though, when you've got the flare crates with about 6 weapons in each, I actually don't know if the crates Dell's standing on top of are even desirable loot, if that makes sense. Like, I wonder if that's just one weapon in the crate and there's not much to choose from.
Considering that Mars has been recalled, he has no weapon at all, so everything is better than nothing.
You take that, oh yeah, exactly. Is he gonna land on top of the tower?
It looks like Dell was not in his tower, so yeah. No
Dell's
loot
clearly
there.
cheating. No, that doesn't happen to people and they don't die. I'd report that.
Definitely. We can see more flare guns are being shot in the air, so we see more and more and more airdrops coming down. There's more and more chances for the players to get their favorite weapons. While we can see Baffish over there dancing again, there was his teammate who's just looking at him. That is Baffish in his prime. No weapon, no helmet, just balls.
Exactly right. Just Baffish doing Baffish things. And if we know him, he'll try and find a way to get to 2nd place in this game as well. So, yep, pretty classic stuff there. We're now starting to see the teams get in each other's faces ever so slightly more. Whoa! Rushing up, wanting to get a return frag before resurrecting his teammate. I'm not sure that was the best possible option there for Diamond Orc. Now he's in a massive amount of trouble.
Yeah, one of those 3 guys has the the advantage of the self-revive. But Cassie is just running over them. And that's it. Mr. Zip Tie most likely had it. But after he's eliminated, we lose Lockmar Arm on Twitch. Another kill over there for the team of the Bullet Dodgers.
They're going to be pretty pleased with that. It's relatively rare that you get someone going for a full-on team fight, team v team, this early, actually. Unless they absolutely had to. So interesting that they were moving into each other that early on. You got Patrick potentially looking to take on a full squad here. 6 bullets left in the Lynx. And 3 players left standing up there. Not sure he's going to get a squad wipe out of this, but if he does, that'll absolutely be play of the game.
Most likely they will be able to survive, at least for now. Circle will shift in a few seconds. That means they will have to move as well. And they will have to move most likely an awful lot. Because from what I see, They are almost on the other side of the street with that. Good thing Patrick had the self-revive, otherwise he would be down.
And the other team are going to have some questions now. Obviously, they've got the knock, but they don't know that Patrick is a solo. So rushing out isn't the obvious choice here. So I suspect that fight could go on for a little while. We have Hall of Fame or Museum, depending on how you want to call it. And we've got folks getting ready to enter off the back of a knock. They're taking a very long time to do this, but they managed to make it work anyway. Dustarino here with the P90. Another knock. There's another one. The Hot Drop Heroes now, unfortunately, about to bow out of the game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, only one still survives for a few seconds. He had the self-res, but safe res. Unfortunately, gets the kills against the Hot Drop Heroes.
Next circle landing between prison and mansion. So a reasonable amount of area here where I don't think anyone in shelter will be able to pop up. It's a little bit too far north. So we're not going to have people as easily hiding anymore. They're going to have to be finding compounds or other hard targets to hide behind. This is the part of the game where I'm expecting most of the kills to start taking place.
Most likely. Well, we can see that another team has left us. The Super Survivor, unfortunately, are not with us anymore. And if I'm not mistaken, that should have been the team of Barfish. But still, he survived long enough to get those points for the additional challenge, which is one challenge you can do every match to get additional points. So don't grab a weapon for the first few minutes, and then you'll get additional points. Well, we can see Muddy Creek unfortunately dies after bleeding out. Well, we can also see a Chinese Islaika over here with the MG3 and, well, not really enough bullets for his taste, I guess.
A lot of fighting going on here. So there's actually 3 or 4 squads in the middle of these trenches. It's not even just the 2. We're on board with 42 at the moment. And Young Quality there is getting absolutely shreked from both sides. Nothing he can do. I've just realized that we have one player here. Can we agree, Envy, that his nickname is definitely Talented, and he's just taken all the vowels out, right? Now, here's my problem. If his teammate is called Next Level, there's an L missing at the end. So it's got to be something else. An L's not a vowel. So it's got to be like next leave.
Live, maybe?
Next leave? Live? Yeah, I don't know. I've got some questions to ask. Well, where do we, can we think of anything else it could next live? Is their name Liv, maybe? I don't know.
Next live, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't want to know when someone's next live. I want to watch them when they're live now.
Well, maybe next up might be the case in this time. But he's down again. Talented. Hopefully talented enough to get those 2 players from squad down. To get some revenge. Blue Zone 8 coming out way too short. Titan might get hit. But the Chinese Islaika not very much. And Omalama gets a knock against Moxo. Next
level in between those 2 blue zone nades. Absolutely no way to get out of that one. Talented, nothing he can do, to be fair. So we'll see what Squat can do now, moving further north around the edge of the circle. Unfortunately, we've got people with arms awaiting, and that's Wasif with a beautiful knock. Titan did turn around. He was running in the correct direction to get away from danger. Just a little bit too late.
The circle shifted again. This time, it's quite central with a touch to the south. And that means Patrick has to move again. Same goes also for the loot goblins. We're currently on here on top of Heaven compound. They need to move as well. Because the little Alamo close to the Hall of Fame is currently the only compound left in the circle.
Phase 5 and only 20 seconds for people to think about what they want to do before moving in. Unfortunately, there are no such thing as easy positions to hold anymore by the looks of things. Oh god, the DBS at long range. Can take a while to get those kills, and unfortunately he's going to be victim to one himself as Talented comes in to mop up, but they are still a long way outside where it would be safe.
Jinx gets the kill against Talented. Unfortunately for him, we can see that safe rest. Mr. Serino and Turnic is still alive. They're still moving, trying to get in the circle. And the Bears, one of our, community. Oh no! One of the creator teams, together with Omalamas Gliders, still alive with all 4 players. Daz did get run over by that BRDM, and Vazif is trying again, but gets shot out first.
Nice.
Still, oh my god! What did we see here? Agent with the triple corkscrew flip over the Bears.
I like that. You're hiding behind the vehicle. Not a problem. I'll just move the vehicle. Still making life very, very difficult indeed. They did manage to get the revives, though, to their credit. The BRDM is now very much down. There's a second one, but there's not a lot of health with which to play. So, all in all, they survived that onslaught very well, considering how much firepower was pointing at them before.
Especially getting another knock through the good old Lynx while I bite against the lineup from, and that should be the red zone runners. Agent knocked as well. One of them still has a self-res, and that was Agent. He's almost down again as well, though. Jinx with the nade in hand. That might be the end for the red zone runners. No, again, not still. Still alive, still waiting. While we can see Okrasama getting shot out of the glider. Well done by Jinx.
Lined up beautifully for Jinx to get that effectively a highlight play there. Absolutely delicious stuff. Blue zone grenade seeking to try and finish them off here. They're not quite done. We'll see if the entire... Yes, okay, the squad does get eliminated, but it was in doubt for a second. The red zone runners were trying their best to hold out as long as they possibly could. Loot Goblins and Natari now with a Lynx, I hasten to add, looking to try and do a little bit of snacking by the looks of things. Already got 1, looking for 2, not going to get it. Aimu takes that down. We are into our final 4.
And that with a beautiful headshot against Sample Text 01 gets a knock in against the sniper snacking on snacks, which means we're down to 4 teams, like you said, that are, if I'm not mistaken, running targets, the Bullet Dodgers, the Bears, and Sniper snacking on snacks.
And right now, we have the Bears and the Snacks on 4 players each, so definitely mathematical favorites at least. That said, oh no, that's a Bullet Dodge, isn't it? They're not in zone. The only team that are kind of in zone are the Bears on the eastern side. We've got a Flare getting... That was a really impressive shot. A pity it doesn't do any damage, as they now try and cover the distance into the zone. This is the biggest danger to the Snacks right now. If they are able to cover this area, get themselves behind even emergency cover, and they can make their way into zone, they're going to be favorites to win the game, but they have to make sure they get out of the blue zone first.
They didn't even were in the blue zone. I guess that was a blue zone nade or something. Samplex and Cassie knocked by the blue, which just leaves 3 players for the Sniper snacking on snacks. Lars dies to the blue, which means that the red zone, that running target are eliminated. And, well, the Bullet Dodgers, they might be able to dodge bullets, but it's Fury TV not so much. And another knock by the boss against Get Wrecked, which means, well, maybe he's the one getting wrecked.
Bears down to 3. The Sniper snacking on snacks also down to 3. And that means, actually, if this fight continues to escalate, the Bullet Dodgers might have an opportunity here to sneak in. I don't know how aggressive they want to be, though, with just 2, especially when Daz spots one of them straight away and absolutely aims for the noggin there. They have to be very mindful of not getting knocked again, but unfortunately, Fury goes down, and that might mean they face a very big uphill struggle.
SO is going for the rest, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least tries. which means the Bears are now back with 3 of 4 players. Snipers snacking on snacks. They did get another kill in, which means the bullet dodgers have been eliminated. So it's a 4 against 2 now. And the snipers snacking on snacks, they're not in the best position for that, at least when it comes to the numbers, because all 4 players of the Bears are back on their feet.
Exactly right. They needed to be... Oh, nice shot, though, to be fair. They needed to be able to get into zone first and start shooting. Unfortunately, transitioning in, they already had 2 players knocked, and it looks like only 1 player left. Not going to be enough. Yes, you did have that self-revive. No time to use it, though. The Bears take home the chicken dinner with 10 kills.
GG well played, 1,530 damage as well as 11 assists, so they could have 21 kills. That's an awful lot.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive indeed. A strong start to custom games this evening for the Bears. And I think they featured fairly prominently in the mid to late game as well. They were just constantly in fights. They didn't sit in one place and just wait for the win. They were very active, actually, to be fair to them. All right. Well deserved. Well played. And I guess we're going to shortly reset and get into game number 2. So that's game 1 of 5 done and dusted for the evening, folks. If you're watching going, oh, I wanted to play as well. Now you can. If you're listening to this, make sure you get into the lobby. Make sure you're here between games. We will see you after this for game number 2.
I can't see.
Rock! Over the...
That's a table.
That was the last guy? What do you mean?
Offer ourselves!
Nice, Abby. That's really far. But not too far. Where? Like, what? Okay. Yes, come here, come here. Whoa! Oh, that's a tree right there. Wow. That's great news. Oh no, don't be stuck. You can't hit me. Okay. God damn it. What is this? Someone's in the blue. Let's help them out. You're welcome.
Yes! What a finale!
Oh my god.
Welcome back, folks. We're about to get started with game number 2. We have game 1 in the bag, of course. 4 games left this evening, so there's plenty of time to still play if you fancy joining in yourself, bagging yourself some points as we start Season 6.
Exclamation mark join will be your key to joining. Well, we see the top 4 teams of the last match. The Bears with 10 kills. Almost close to them, we have Sniper Snacker on second with 7 kills. 9 kills for the Bullet Dodgers, and last but not least in the top 4, we have the Running Targets without kills somehow.
Well, I mean, they are living true to their name, to be fair. Running Targets, we will take that. Daz currently in the lead. Top players this season. Admittedly, this season's only been 1 game long so far, but has managed to get 7 points from ranking alone to get 17 total points, tying with the boss.
Yeah, who has 2 points less for rank placement, but 2 more points for the missions. So he did something as did not. But the question is, which missions did he do? Because from the missions we have, he could get 6 points so far, and another 2 if he did not pick a weapon up in the first 3 minutes.
Plenty of opportunity, of course, to get those additional mission points now that we move into game number 2 as well. Well done if you managed to get them in game 1. We refresh that completely and we take a look at what we have to do this time around. It is light and cold, bicycles and handguns only. Now, Envy, I think it's easier to do the missions here because you can't pick up a weapon in the first 5 minutes, but you can still pick up a bicycle, as I understand it, and you can ride it to somewhere safe. Also, handguns aren't terribly long range, so I feel like it's going to be easier to do that here than it was in game 1.
Most likely. Considering that we are also playing in TPP, you are able to watch and check out around corners before pushing forward, so you might have better grasp of where opponents might hide without the issue of running into one in a house or something.
I think a lot of this game mode is going to be staking out territory and defending it. If you can sort of work out where the best compounds are going to be in, say, phase 3, 4, and you almost want to play it like a traditional PUBG game in terms of positioning. Get to the best spot, defend it, try to make sure that if anyone else rushes you, you've got 4 guns pointing at someone's head and you can get 1 or 2 knocks before the fight even begins. And you just want to hold a compound, which sounds, I suppose, boring in the sense that it's not a particularly wacky custom mode. But I think people just have to recognize this is going to be more about positioning than some of the other modes we play today.
Considering that you also are not able to run each other over with a car, that might add to that as well. And you have, in the end, some players will definitely try to ride and shoot from the bicycle. So
yes,
that might be interesting as well.
Yeah, you don't have drive-bys here. You have ride-bys. We might get a couple of those. You never know. I just want to see either Dino Land or Cosmodrome finish. I don't mind which. We can go either way, but I do want to see one of them.
I'm going to go with Dino Land.
Okay, yeah, I never say no to Dino Land, my favorite place for a game to finish on Vikendi. For now, though, we are loading into the game. This is game number 2 of 5 of tonight's PUBG Reddit custom games. Folks, let's go ahead, hop in, and take a look at what Light and Cold has to bring us.
Welcome to Vikendi. It's almost as cold as it could be outside in a few months, because we are heading into the winter direction here in Europe. And as you can see, we have a pre-planned circle, which means no Dino Land for us. Maybe we'll have our end zone in Lumberyard. Most likely we'll be on the fields between Lumberyard, Nasnova, and Pavilka.
Oh, to be fair, if it's in fields, that's going to be a lot of fun if everyone has bicycles and handguns. But yeah, I did want to see. I still think Cosmodrome would have been brilliant for that because there's plenty of open areas you can still ride through, but never mind. So let's go ahead and see what people choose to do. A couple of squads have opted to jump away from the circle, and I think this is a smart place to do it. You can afford to spend a little bit more time getting into zone, looting if you need to, trying to grab the missions, simply because you don't have to worry as much about people sniping you off long range, like with the AWMs and Lynxes, like you did last time. I also think, Envy, this would be an excellent game to break 20 to 25 windows in.
Yeah, if you can get a good position and get a compound, or get into one of the cities, that might be true. Depending on where you land. It might be a bit harder if you decide to go for one of the outskirts and then try to find in a little compound some windows. Some of those block huts don't have windows, so you're left without a choice if you want to destroy them.
Yeah, you can't just pop into like a small compound with just a barn and a couple of buildings. You might not have 20 windows to smash. You're absolutely right. So
what?
I was going to say you should go for ideally a city, but one that's opposite side of the plane path, so that no one's fighting you for those windows, I suppose.
Wait, we've thought of shotguns.
Oh.
They are counting as handguns. This will be interesting.
I mean,
this definitely will be interesting. So,
in-game, technically, it might be in that category, but a sword-off is not a handgun. I'm just going to say that now. It's not.
I'm going to join you there. Well, we can see Annie Mango currently on top of that water tower, while we can see that the red zone runners are currently running to him. Not quite sure if Master knows he's up there. Yeah, he knows. He knows. Brainlack with the knock against Vizier, getting the kill as well. So first kill for the super survivors. Well, we can see that, well, it's just Master facing off against Annie Mango. I'm not quite sure if his teammates will join him. That might have been easier.
Yeah, this is not fair. Leave him alone. He's got no weapon. He's not shooting you back. Come on, man. Leave him alone.
He's just trying to survive there.
He doesn't deserve this. He's being nice. I hope that they've actually left him alone now. Yeah, I hope that they're leaving him alone rather than going back with two people to finish him off. I think he deserves some kudos for doing what he's doing.
Definitely. Going for the same mission as Bafish, trying to survive. Where's that? Look, Daz is going for it as well. There we go. Just destroying windows, not taking up anything else. And Daz decides, all right, I'm not good at boxing and destroying windows with my fists, so I'm just going to jump through them.
So I have a question, and it might seem a bit strange, but because, you know, you've got like crafting logic, you never actually know if it's true or not. If you just vault through a window and it breaks, does that count as breaking a window, or do you have to like punch it?
That's a good question.
Like, I feel like vaulting through a window should also just count and it's fine, but knowing PUBG, there's probably some like there's probably some exception that we don't know about where it doesn't actually count.
Oh yeah, and he's still alive. You can see him
Go on, Annie Mango. I mean, Annie Mango
tower.
deserves this. We accept this. And this is Team Bafish, so I feel like it's only appropriate.
Yeah, except for Brainlack, who just joined the team, but did already get a kill, though.
Did he get a kill by not attempting to do any damage? Because as long as that happened, that's allowed.
No, he did kill someone with a weapon, so...
Oh.
I'm quite sure he did not join that. And we could see one of the new features for the Observer mode there. If you press Control and F, you are able to search for a player and then jump to that player straight away. That's new with the newest update.
Oh, very nice. I not something I've personally used myself, but I can see that being useful, especially. Ooh, you know where I'd want to test that? When I do a limited UI game modes, where if you can't even see like the kill feed and stuff like that, or the player list or things, can you still use Control F to find someone, and will it tell you whether they're alive or dead? I want to test that.
Lightbite might be in trouble. We can see the answer to life coming into his compound. He does have a Scorpion with 40 bullets, but he's still waiting for them to advance. And we can see another team racing far away from that compound. That should be the Hot Drop Heroes, if I'm not mistaken.
Tense situation there. Peeking around the top of the stairs, waiting for someone to come up. He's got a customer. Surprise! Hope you can reload quick. Oh, wow. Railings, the ultimate blocker in PUBG. Well, we now know that there absolutely is someone up there, and the answer to life, deciding not to push in just yet. Blue zone grenades stopping them from coming in. Maybe that'll give them the opportunity to head out. We'll wait and see.
It might also give him the opportunity, or his teammates the opportunity to join him. Next shots coming in. Lightbite again with good damage against his opponents. And there we can see the sword of shotgun doing its damage. Talented and next level, or next live, going for the kill on Lightbite and avenging their fallen comrade.
The definitely not a handgun of the sawn-off doing its work there. So that's absolutely delicious. And there's no way, unfortunately, the Bears were going to come back from that. So now we see... Oh, this is Brainlag, the non-pacifist member of the Super Survivors. Looking like he's trying to push a compound solo here. Is he going to be able to do that? He's got someone up there. You can see the idea. He's Molotoving his own entry. But that might actually allow him to get a foothold on the stairs. This could be a really smart move, but he's not moving up.
He's waiting for a chance and for his opponent to show himself. That might be his chance now. Brainlag. The only super survivor who's going for a kill there. And you can see the difference.
He needs the Molotov
in TPP
now.
and FPP.
He's used all his grenades to get to this point, and now that he's on the stairs, when a Molotov would basically end the fight in his favor, he hasn't got one anymore. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's not ended yet, because there's another part of that team coming in. But first, knock might come out as Lash. Now, with the knock against Brainlag. And even though he had a self-res, he's not able to use it. That's a kill for Save Raz. Save Raz.
Sadly, Baffish will be nowhere close, unfortunately, to administer a revive onto his teammate. So that is going to be that. Just over a minute and a half now until phase 2 collapses, and we wait and see how players are getting on. Still 19 teams left. We expect this to be a slow first half of the game. It is handguns and bicycles after all. We don't necessarily expect all teams to go full send. That said, Envy, I will say I'm a little surprised we've had this many kills so far. I honestly didn't think this early in this game we would get quite this much action.
Yeah, we have our next team fight over here between Sniper Snack and Snacks against the Answer to Life. Next level has found the boss and gotten the kill against him. Agent killed as well by Luke, Sprite, and Fire for the lineup from the running targets. Not quite sure who PSM is, but we'll see later on. The Pan Smashers. Obviously, Cassie now with the kill against Animango. Taking out one of the two pacifist players. Well, next level still trying to get a knock in, and this might be proving to be difficult for the Sniper snacking on Snacks there. That move was not the smartest.
No, not at all. And now we're going to be paying the consequences of this. Next level needs to think of a way to get out from behind this rock. And wow, okay. I genuinely did not think he would get a further knock there. I thought he was the one getting traded, but what do I know? Lone Wolverine now coming in, trying to get the follow-up knock, but missing on most of that spray. And suddenly the fight was all over.
Yeah, the double barrel sort of shotgun does its deed again. And therefore, the answer to life is, well,
Sort of shotgun. Yeah. Who knew all along that if you had anything in the world available to you, the answer is always the sawn-off shotgun?
I guess their name is their short team tag is not 42, but 4-2. 4 blue players with a double barrel.
That's to be polite. Very much ambitious there, I would say. Trying to kill people at that sort of range. Don't really think that's going to be possible. That is a very illegal vehicle, so I can see why Dell's going and lynxing them out of existence. That makes a lot of sense. 16 teams. I can't believe we've had so many team wipes in the last minute or two. It is mind-boggling to me that the teams are finding ways to do this much damage so early in this game.
Cassie there with a beautiful headshot against that team on top of the tower, but gets almost four there from behind now. Kaffee und Kuchen from the Hot Drop Heroes getting the knock-in, and Cassie in trouble. I'm not quite sure if she has a self-res. Not looking like it.
No, not the biggest fan of just... Even if you have a self-res, just rushing in like that doesn't always pay dividends. Although, to be honest, if you can get ride-bys like that, I will take it. Hot Pink with a beautiful skin on the bike there. And you can see the tactical pack as well. Oh, no. Trying their best to run them over, realizing they can't quite make it work. So we'll go for the double knock instead. Are we going to get it? We do, but only just.
At the elimination, but Hot Pink has to watch out, because we can see Baffish still there. He's not doing anything, so I'm not quite sure if Hot Pink will go for that kill.
That is the only time in
V.
V.
It would be a free frag.
That's the only time I've ever heard on any Reddit broadcast someone say, we have to watch out because Baffish is there. Really? Really? Tell me more.
Well, we have to watch out for Baffish if he will survive this, to be honest.
I'll be very impressed if he gets into the circle unscathed from here. I will say that. Let's wait and see. Oh dear. We should probably... well, that's awkward. Literally an ascender-descender right there, and somehow managing to still take damage.
Oh, Hot Pink got eliminated, so Baffish might be safe for a few more seconds. I mean, Hot Pink did not shoot him, so kudos for that. And Baffish is quite close there to a few players. Quite sure how long he might be able to survive. That was an interesting way to get down from that tower. Saying, all right, let's use the bikes as well to get down there. I even wanted to ask, how did they get the bikes up there? But you can just put them in your backpack and carry them up.
Hack shots in the bullet dodges. Sweating. Love to see it. It's what we love them for, to be fair. Problem is, we have a little bit of damage going down at the moment. Hutch is down and out. We need to try and get the revive onto Fury as well. And the hack shots, of course, is going to stand around looking in all directions, looking for additional frags, and for ages before he thinks about going for the revive. I think Fury ended up just using his own self-revive. I don't think he'd waited for hack shots. Oh, that's hack shots down. I can hear his voice comms now. Safe res, safe res. Come quick.
Safe res is down.
Safe res, it's okay.
Or well, safe res is behind him. Now he's down and out, and no chance for him to get rest. Forskin with another fight, and he gets a knock against Cassie as well. This is not looking too good for the bullet dodges.
Not at all, unfortunately. Meanwhile, speaking of safe reses, we've got Dustarino on the northern edge of the circle. This is phase 4, and there's 25 seconds left remaining. That means that even if they don't finish this fight, they're going to have to be moving very quickly and very soon. Lots of Scorpions at play at range. Practically no recoil on that as well. It's an absolute laser. Dustarino, the only player left.
And well, the Bears eliminate the answer to life. 50 hearts eliminated as well by Dustarino. Vernick is bleeding out. The question is, can they go for that safe res, safe res?
It's the blue zone I'm worried about.
They will not be able. The blue zone will get that kill.
Yeah, I think so. Left it just a little bit late. And that is Turnick, unfortunately, going down. Dustarino will be playing the rest of this game as a solo. Needs to make sure he doesn't take too much damage as well. The blue zone damage really does start getting quite severe after this, so very, very important. Fury, the only surviving member of his team. Remember, the player who Hackshots didn't revive busy looking for other targets, and yet it's Fury reviving Hackshots. Love to see it. I don't know for sure if it's all members of the team coming back. I'm going to assume so.
That might be good for them. Well, we can see Safe Res is eliminated. Kill before the last kill goes to its Fury. After he got his teammates back, or tried to get his teammates back, he decided, well, let's go for the kills.
I think now we're probably getting to that point in the game where there's not too much hard cover in circle. The players are within medium range of each other as well, if there's a little bit of sniping going on. Well, in this case, oh my god, what a beautiful Molotov. Can we talk about that? That is absolutely gorgeous. And unfortunately, the full team going down there. De Bear's doing a fantastic job for the second game in a row, Envy, so they're doing very well.
Well, we can see the red zone runners are in a bit of a pinch there against the Bears. And as well, team of, I guess it was the red zone, no, the running targets over there were a minute earlier. And the Bears going for more kills, 13 this time. They have 3 more than they did have in the first match. Let's see if they can hold that up, and we'll see more kills every match now for them.
Yes, indeed. And 13 kills and counting. I mean, they are clearly in this to win the whole day. Remember I was talking earlier about how looking for that position in Phase 5, Phase 6 towards the end of the day and just trying to hold it? Well, this isn't a compound like I thought it might be, but it is a fantastic position on top of a hill as well. Get wrecked. Very high risk play there. Allowing himself to be out in the open, but just holding the angle. It does pay off for them, and they're in zone in Phase 5 with 15 kills. Envy, you have to say, they must be favorites to win this game.
Definitely, definitely. The question is, will they be able to come down there? They are the only team so far in the circle, if I see that correctly. Oh, we have one more player. Titan the Cat for Safe Res. No, for Team Squad there. In the south of the circle. Aside from that, no one else in the circle so far. They're trying to get close, but the Bears are trying to prevent them from that.
Oh, Fury could be upsetting the apple cart here. He's a pretty good player. The problem is, even he can't look at all angles at once, and Lightbite will tank a little bit of damage, but doesn't even get knocked as Fury gets eliminated from the equation. De Bears, they're now sweeping around. No, this is very high risk, but if they pull this off, they are guaranteed 20 plus kills.
A good thing for Fury is he has more self-res. He will be eliminated though in a few seconds. Loot Goblins out as well on rank 6. And there's still someone there. Hackshots has been called back. But I doubt he has any weapon, or he found some loot, it looks like it. But still, he's alone. He's in trouble, because he is not in the circle.
This will be interesting. Hackshots versus the world is the most dangerous kind of hackshots, to be fair. He's very, very good at picking the perfect time to go for a 1v2, 1v3. The problem is he's dropped right next to De Bears. 20 kills and counting. We were wondering if they were going to hit, or rather when they were going to hit that mark. They already have, and it's not even 20 minutes in game yet. So doing incredibly well. 3 of them are still up. Obviously, we have Hackshots as well. And then a single member of Squad. Hackshots biding his time, waiting for the correct opportunity.
Looks like he has no weapon. Good thing for him, there are a few players in front of him where he might get a weapon. Or he's playing for that 3 minutes without a weapon. Might be the case as well. After he came back,
if you get recalled,
some health.
Do you get the mission points if you're recalled and spend 5 minutes without a weapon?
Not quite sure.
I don't know. My guess is no, but I'm not sure.
And see,
maybe Hackshots is finding out.
Most kills by Lightbite with 8. He also has the most damage. But most damage taken by Fury with 900, almost double the damage Okrasama has taken.
Oh,
now
Titan's being spotted now.
3. Titan versus... Oh, Titan wants a knock against Lightbite, but gets knocked by Get Wrecked. Now they have to watch out. searching for an additional player. I don't know. Titan is the last man standing for his team. Might be able to use the self-res. Hack shots coming in from behind. Might help. Titan in the process. Titan eliminated. And now it's hack shots getting knocked in. But Death with the last shot to him. And that's it. GG. Well played. Winner chicken dinner. The Bears do it again. The back-to-back chicken with 23 kills, 2,330 damage, and 13 assists.
23 kills, incredibly strong stuff by the Bears. Congratulations there. Very nice stuff. I was wondering, because until the very late game, you said maybe Hackshots didn't have a weapon. I was thinking, oh, are we going to see a pacifist second place? And maybe channel our inner dance around, get those points for second. He did try. He got one knock and almost got two. So a fair attempt from Hackshots there, I thought.
Definitely. All right. I would say let's hop over for a quick break before we will return with match number 3.
Balance changes for SMGs in the Panzerfaust. Some updates to the recall system. And a PvE collaboration flush with interesting enemies. All this and more as we dive into the Update 38.1 patch report. First up, we're doing a balance shuffle for SMGs in the Panzerfaust this update. Across the board, SMGs will have less accurate hipfire, and the MP5K is also seeing a slight reduction in damage. For the Panzerfaust, players will now be restricted from running, jumping, and vaulting while wielding this powerful weapon. And players inside a vehicle will be protected a bit, taking reduced damage from its blast. There are a couple more changes as well to make sure there's enough risk to the Panzerfaust's reward. So let us know how these changes feel. Next, the recall system is getting some alterations. Time required to register blue chips beyond the first will now increase by 5 seconds for each additional chip being registered. We've also added information about how many players are returning to the Battlegrounds with each recall, and have removed the Phase 6 recall on 8x8 maps. Once again, let us know how these changes feel once you get in-game. Next, we're dressing up a bit for spooky season with an arcade mode that gives new meaning to the term crapshoot. In this collaboration with the popular internet show Skibidi Toilet, you'll assemble your squad of 4 and plunge into Miramar to clench victory against the toilet invasion. Collect chemical cans to upgrade your weaponry and make flushing your enemy that much easier. Can your squad save Bidet? Or will you get wiped and end up number 2? Will this announcer ever run out of crappy puns? Log in and put a lid on the invasion starting October 22nd on PC and October 30th on console. We've also added destructible terrain to Miramar, which doesn't include building destruction, and updated the pass system to allow for multiple passes at once. This allows us to introduce an event pass tied to the new arcade mode, while still launching a new Survivor Pass. Now you can work on both at the same time. There's also a new ranked season, destructible gas tanks on Destin, map bug fixes, and more. So be sure to check out the patch notes for full details. Update 38.1 is here, so recall some friends, aim down the sights of those SMGs, and dump some rounds into the Skibidi toilets. We'll see you on the Battlegrounds.
The floor's been beneath me. Crazy how it's easy to see. Nah, nah. I let it move and control me. Gone with the
And we are back after a short break with match number 3 in the books. Match number 2 in the books, and match 3 coming up. It's blame Dell time. I mean, we always blame Dell, but in this case, we might blame Dell for John not being here, because Dell might have pulled his cord, and therefore, there he is.
Accurate.
There he is, back again.
I don't know what happened, but it was Dell's fault.
Definitely.
Yep.
All right, welcome back, and welcome back to the wheels. We are almost coming up with match number 3, and we're hopping over to tell you a bit about our top 4 teams.
Absolutely gross stuff there. 23 kills in that last game from De Beers, so you can tell Daz, Lightbite, and co are very much in the running to get a very nice head start on the leaderboard for Season 6. Let's take a look at what the overall scores look like after 2 games.
As you can see, Daz still in the lead with 31 points. Jinx coming up the ranks with 28. Same goes for Get Wrecked. Then we have Lightbite with 1 point less. Yuri with 22 on rank 5. Cassie with 19 on 6. The boss, Lone Wolverine, and Moxer going down to 7, 8, and 9 with 19 and 2 times 18 points.
If Daz keeps this up, he will have something like 75 points from the end of the first evening. That would be insane. Let's see if he's able to keep that up. We've had 2 games so far in tonight's custom games. The third one is coming up next. We'll show you a graphic, but if I'm being honest, there's really not much point. Because game 3 is Blame Dell. God knows what's going to happen. Absolutely anything and everything can and usually does happen. All we can tell you is that it'll be FPP on Erangel.
And it will be something horrible by Armor.
So, predictions for what we think that something horrible will be. I think because it's Llama, we're going to get loads more gliders than normal.
Definitely.
But in a normal game, unless you have like the UGC style unlimited Panzerfaust, for example, if someone with unlimited Panzerfaust is in the back of a glider, it can't be that horrible, right? Like there's only so much they can do. What are you going to be doing?
I heard Des and I heard Del talking about Gaxi having to choose something, or Mark having to choose something.
Okay.
Between 1 and 5, if I'm not mistaken, and he chose 2. So I'm not quite sure what that was about, but that might have been, from my point of view, it might have been the time between the circles, because that would be awfully fast, and you're running from the circles and they instantly kill you.
Well, if we're going to get instant death circles,
we'll be happy.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty awful. Let me think what else it could be. What is the scariest weapon that someone could have in the backseat of a glider? I've got one. Imagine if everyone had MG3s in the back of a glider. I could see that being pretty awful.
Yeah. Lynx would be a close second, with the ability to destroy a glider instantly.
Yes.
But
that would be
see.
Especially helpful if the blue zone was instant kill. So if without the glider you couldn't run into zone, and therefore the Lynx killing the glider meant that you were dead, that would be pretty good.
But if that's not what's happening, Dell, make notes.
Right.
That is something which you definitely will enjoy.
Or you have the zone moving quickly and you're just constantly spawning boats in the middle of the air to crush people. I always love that. Absolutely love it. There is a limit to how much you can spawn, though, because we've hit that limit many, many times. And it's absolutely delicious. Now, we're about to get into game number 3, folks. If you're watching, by the way, and you fancy joining in, make sure you stick around because you've still got games 4 and 5. But in the meantime, we are going to be hopping into game number 3 of 5. It is Blame Dell on our PUBG Reddit community custom games. Let's head into the action.
And there we go. Match number 3. We are back on the wrangle. Blame Dell being the game mode first person squad. Let's see what Dell and, in this case, Armor have in store for us. Players are dropping out. And it looks like this will be as a Snufka Island circle. we can see it is a square circle. It's not a circle in this case. It's a square, showing the players where they should drop. And one team is not taking heed to that. We can see they're dropping out way too late there.
So here we go. Military operation. The rectangle is afoot. I always love landing observatory, but it looks like I was not the only one with this idea. Multiple teams having a think about it, choosing to abort at the last second. This is awkward coming into observatory. You don't really want multiple teams there. I think they've just about avoided confrontation. And yeah, I find it interesting that the team Milta makes perfect sense to me. The team Gatka, significantly less so. I have questions about that, but hopefully there are enough ways to get back onto Sosnovka Island that won't be to their detriment.
Let's see. First shot's already there. You can see there is a problem there. Jinx already with the farmers in hand, so we can see there are weapons in the hands of almost all the players.
Great weapons.
Farmers, and the farmers, well, you can't really watch through that. Oh, MK14 in the mix as well. We can see lots and lots of great weapons in the hands of the players already.
There's just not enough ammo at this point. So we have the Bears here trying their best to survive. I can't actually tell who's outnumbering who. I feel like the Bears are doing okay. Lightbite, unfortunately, is the player that's almost dead. I think he's going to be able to get a revive. Get Wrecked goes down as well. What on earth is going on?
I don't know. It looks like MK14 and farmers only, but not 100%. Maybe also less damage.
Have you noticed that everyone who's been knocked doesn't seem to be taking damage?
Yeah, looks like it. Or not that much damage. 4 damage. So we have... Oh, the weapons are not doing that much damage. We have more damage through melee than through real shots. You can see 12 damage, 18 damage, 16 damage. Those are all hits.
It looks like the down but not out protection is massive, because some of the players were even going through and going, oh, I can't be bothered with this. I'm just going to punch them to death. And that seems to be working better than the weapons in some cases. Got no idea what's going on.
Looks like we might have great weapons, less damage.
No heals?
No heals, maybe. At least we have pans.
No, we've got boosts at least, because we can see Patrick's hit points just went up a little bit.
Oh, and we have new icons for the nades and stuff. Like it. And Patrick and Remfetamin already eliminated, unfortunately, on ring 22. Means we still have 21 teams left. Man still there. Oh, safe rest as last man standing. No heal. Not sure where to go. And I guess the bridge might be his best bet.
Playing a game mode where no one understands the rules.
Something up there.
It is hard to park like that with a buggy, but these guys have successfully done it. Oh dear. Vice almost getting away with getting properly on top of the scaffolding there. Unfortunately, won't quite make it to where he wanted to go. I loved the idea. If you just hang out there for a couple of zones, you should have an excellent opportunity to see what's going on, where you might be able to land in a future zone, wait for people to finish their fights and then land in behind them. It was a great idea, just couldn't quite get the execution.
And Moss dropping down there. Good against Pivas there. Question is, will they be able to get that knock in? Titan now with the knock against Klimaye. Is still on the hunt, still damage against Mars, and he finally gets it, saying, alright, I'm gonna use Hitfire rather than the, well, Iron Sight. If you can call it that.
Yep. Seems to work well. I mean, weapons clearly still doing damage, and headshots obviously are still headshots, so even if we've got reduced damage, good aim is still extremely useful. In fact, arguably more so. It's important to string together a series of hits rather than just get one lucky bullet to the head, for example. So consistency is key. Multiple teams now properly getting into each other's faces. Got a minute and a half of zone 2 left to go. The red zone rejects here. We were looking at them, but we now have Saving Private Ryan's loot, looking like they're getting crashed by somebody else.
The Answer to Life also in trouble there. The Loot Goblins take down another player. Runners. And there are more people dropping down every second and Saving Private Ryan's loot. Well, they might have saved a bit of loot, but they are not able to survive the onslaught of the Answer to Life.
Loot is only useful when there's somebody there to wield it, and sadly, it doesn't look like they'll be able to continue, but the Answer to Life here managing to continue as a trio, which is delightful. Next phase is going to force them properly into military base, so they're going to have to move out of the outskirts and get in properly. They shouldn't have too much of an issue doing that, though. I would imagine it gets quite random from this point onward. Still possible for it to veer off, for example, to the northern mountains or to Observatory or something like that. So we can't rule anything out. What we do know, though, is that for the squad that was originally in Gatka, getting across the bridge, as you can see on the right-hand side, may now prove to be a problem.
Let's see what else. Okay, let's go for the kill against Hotpink together with Seaback. And that's another kill for the Loot Goblins. Well, unfortunately, running targets are eliminated. Lightbite currently with 1,400 damage in front of Daz with 1,142. Then we have another 1,100 damage as well. Daz also the one with the most survival time, 49 minutes and 49 seconds.
That is at least part of the answer that we were looking at before. How on earth, with all of these weapons in play, are you going to find a way onto Sosnovka Island? And Afterlife here appear to have the right idea. They are dropping towards factory. Is there... Oh, there is someone already there, though. In fact, it's a solo on the roof. And we cut away just as that fight was about to begin. Awkward, to be fair. This fight is very much in full flow. Look, Ma, I'm on Twitch, trying their best to survive. I think it's multiple people against one. It is indeed. And Matty will be able to get that knock. That is Gab's Lightning Storm. I think they've won the fight now. There might be a self-res there, so they do want to make sure they get finished off relatively quickly. Ah, there we go. And that is the fight over.
Yeah, while we hop over back to Sosnovka Island's military base, the Pan Smashers are fighting against the Loot Goblins. And it's a, well, 1-1 trade there. Loot Spike coming from behind, still has a first rest, but that's it for them. Pan Smashers eliminated by the Loot Goblins. Afterlife on top of the buildings, while we can see Brain Lag over there. One of the two players normally... He did play the last two maps from the pacifist point of view. This time he says, all right, I'm gonna go for the weapons.
I think he has to, doesn't he?
No. Brainleg was the one not going for the pacifist route, but he's playing together with Baffish and his 13.
Also, everyone gets granted the weapons. Baffish would have to put down the weapons, but he doesn't have a choice as to whether he picks them up.
Indeed. Let's see, Natari going for the glider flight. This time without Llama. It looks like Llama's not flying. Hammy, though, is in a second glider, I presume. Or at least in a car.
It's gotta be. I mean, the team's called Ormalama's Glider. It would be disappointing if it wasn't. Just flying around at the moment. Doesn't look like they're getting themselves into too much trouble. How is it possible that that team in yellow is still sharing the roof with Afterlife? I thought that fight was going down as we cut away. How are they still alive?
That's Dell.
Ah, okay, that's what I didn't see. That would make a lot of sense.
We can see the Armalama's glider is in trouble. Armalama was well, maybe picked up, or Hammy wanted to pick him up. Unfortunately, they lose their car. Hammy going for a little run there, trying to get away from the sniper snacking on snacks. And as you can see, the MK14 and the good old farmers without scopes, it's awful horrible.
The boss, one of the high scorers on the overall leaderboard, to be fair so far, but using a lot of ammo, trying to get these shots from far away. 11 damage on a headshot from this range, you can already see. It's not that massively effective. Ormalama going down to 1 HP, looking like he might survive for a second there, and then getting hit in the back. Sample Text will very happily take that knock, and it looks like it's going to be a flush as well. Natari and Hammy's hangout, the only two players left. Natari, of course, in the glider and in the blue zone. A backpack, or a jammer pack, should help him there, but not for long.
Coming up, sniper snacking on snacks, moving up to the next phase of the circle, while we can see the red zone runners in trouble. Last but not least, Master gets eliminated by Gab's team over there. And Hackshots going for an 8 against the Loot Goblin.
Lots of nades getting chucked. You heard him getting flashed there as well. Is Seabag struggling just a little bit with where things are at. It is doing damage, but it's 1 or 2 damage, so clearly not that big of a deal. Let's see what happens next as he uses the smoke to get the heck out of dodge. They are properly getting laid siege. Doesn't mean they can just rush in though. The Loot Goblins still have 4 people up, and that is very, very important. You get more than one angle on someone trying to rush a building. That makes all the difference.
We can see the hell flying around, saying hi to the glider up in the air. And that glider most likely will crash in a few seconds. It has been destroyed, while the Loot Goblins are still searching for loot and for opponents. Just fighting over there against Fury, while Lightbite gets a knock-in against Talented.
These fights very slow as a result of the low amount of damage, but it also means that players can afford to be very aggressive. You can close the distance on foot to someone, and your chances of getting knocked, instead of 90%, go down to something like 20%. Well, guess what? You're going to be rushing them head first more and more often, and that's exactly what's happening here to the Loot Goblins. They're doing a very good job of keeping alive, but the amount of sustained pressure coming their way is constant. So they're going to have to decide, if we're not getting the knocks, do we want to keep this position? Do we want to go somewhere else? What do we want to do?
Well, we want more kills, obviously.
Obviously.
And in this case, it worked out. Ooh, Jinx with the kills against the Answer. 2 live together with Lightbite. They were able to take them out. And the Bears are still alive. But this time, most likely not for the most kills at the moment.
Unfortunately, not the Loot Goblins here. Holding off the pressure from, I think, it's the... I want to say the red zone dodges or the bullet dodges to the east of them. They've done a good job. They've held them off, and there's no need for them to push in yet because it's only phase 4, which is nice. But I would imagine 1 or 2 more zones, and suddenly they're not going to be the only teams they have to contend with. When it becomes a 3 or 4 team fight, that's when this gets really messy.
Oh, and now we have another team quite close over here to Afterlife. We're still on the roof. Natari below them in the building. In the factory. Ormalama coming down as well as we speak on the recall. We see more and more teams gathering around the Sosnovka Island military base.
So it does look like we're going to get an urban finish on Millie Base, which is fair enough. I think part of us was secretly hoping for that anyway. The northern mountains are fun, and maybe with reduced damage, it's more interesting because, I don't know, people don't just get mown down at the base of the mountain. They'll go down to something like 60% health, and actually there's still a fight. But that is an issue now for another game, as we have all but confirmed we are going for an urban finish. Afterlife now, oh, Mark 14 on full auto. It's good when you don't miss the shots, though, unfortunately. And that, sadly, will be a pretty quick knock, and we've got single fire going on here as we finish off Anders very happily taking that point.
Yeah, as you could see, we have limited damage. 6 damage per shot plus 28 per headshot. That's not very much. We can see there is someone going for that fallen player from Ormoloma's Glider. I'm most likely guessing that was Hammy's hangout. Got eliminated by the red zone. And we see that Gap's Lightning Storm, well, had trouble as well. ATPK was eliminated, well, was knocked by Circle as well. Most likely will be eliminated while we see Brutus has some trouble with that iron sight from the farmers as well.
When you lie down prone like that, of course, it's relatively easy to get a headshot, and there were 2 people shooting at him instead of 1 as well. Plenty of reasons why that was a little bit tricky. The Bears now potentially moving in against the red zone rejects. I certainly would. It's a 4v2. They know that they've managed to get a lot of kills so far. That is Code and Brutus both down. I'm sure they have some self-revives, but they are not going to be given the opportunity to use them. That is the red zone reject eliminated.
Yeah, again, players from the Bears with 10 kills already. We can see Natari, the last player surviving, or the last surviving member of Ormoloma's Gliders, and now Gap's Lightning Storm is going for the push, trying to confirm that kill. We can see that the, well, Belvres was taken, but unfortunately not fast enough, and we can see Del flying around, having the overview of those fights, and now he's spawning boats on top of the players. Let's see if one of them will get crushed on top of that building.
Oh, this is my favorite trick.
The bullet dodgers might be able to dodge bullets, but are they able to dodge boats? That's another question.
Actually, the boat dodges, exactly right. And of course, the boats then become very useful cover on top of the building, should anyone be able to see them as well, assuming they survive. Love to see that Annie Mango crawling in. No weapon, of course. Who needs weapons in this game anyway? But phase 5 now, northeast side of Millie Base. There is no way this can sustain 10 teams.
Blackfish and Annie Mango both crawling in, and it looks good for them because you only have 1 player on the opposite side of the road, and that should be Basic on the other side. Aside from him, I doubt anyone else will see Blackfish and Annie Mango. While we see that Jinx is going down. Nice knock there by Nilla for the loot goblins, and Hackshots is going and trying to collect that flush, but has found more valuable targets.
This is not going to be fun for the teams that are outside of phase 6 shortly. We can see the zone starting to think about constricting, people having to think about moving. These fights are going to be more and more forced. You need to reload quick. If you're going to revive someone, do it instantly. You cannot afford to wait. You have to go, go, go. Because if you don't, the blue zone will get most of you.
Then long for the keyboard warriors. He's in trouble there. Gets knocked. And we can see that's a team of the Bears. He's the predicament there. Things will most likely be eliminated. We are having trouble there for the players. More damage coming in. 8th place for the Bears. They are out of this one. But we can see a new team rising, the Loot Goblins, with 10 kills so far.
I love the fact that we've already got a team voluntarily moving out of the hard cover, moving out of the building, saying, you know what, the zone is more important at this point. I do not know if it will pay off for them. It'll be interesting to see, but the bullet dodgers here are one of the teams doing the best in the zone, but that's in phase 5, not in phase 6. So I wonder how well this will work out for the team further north. I love that Mr. Ziptie is right next to Anna Mango. We do not care. Batfish has been spotted.
Quite nice to him. He dropped him a self-res. So maybe,
Oh, that's
maybe
very
he said-
nice.
He said, please don't kill us. I'm gonna drop you a self-rest for that. Unfortunately, Barfish was knocked, and I doubt that Animango will go for the rest. While we can see more knocks coming in as well by the bullet dodges, as well as main god Tampan from Afterlife, and as well as from the Loot Goblin. So this will mark the end of the match in a few seconds. 7 teams are still alive. Barfish and Animango have been eliminated. 6 teams and 16 players. 14 players left. Was 5 teams.
It's the snacks I was particularly interested in there, and they were the ones who went very, very close to center circle very, very early as well. Doesn't look like it's paying off for them. They managed to get a good position, but unfortunately 3 different squads have descended on them one after the other so unbelievably quickly. So they are now eliminated in 5th place. They made it to the top 5, to be fair, but they couldn't hold on to that position. So the question now is who ends up winning out of these final 4. Inside the middle of the circle, we have Team Gab, but there's only 2 of them. We then have the Bullet Dodgers, and we've got LGB as well on the northwest. And they are going to be finishing this fight long before they get into the middle, I think.
And one of those 4 teams in Hafens is good old Dell, waiting for his chance to spawn random stuff to drop on the players. As we can see, Nate gets a knock against Anders. So Loot Goblins with another knock in there, but Anders is back on his feet, trying to heal himself, trying to get back in that fight, but is eliminated by Pavis. Unfortunate for him, that game is over as well.
We are now in a position where there is none of military base in the next phase. This will almost certainly be the last stand of whoever decides to try and venture in and claim glory for themselves. I have to say, the Loot Goblins looking like they're in pole position at the moment, but the Bullet Dodgers are biding their time, and all they have to do, I think, is get the first knock to potentially even this up. They don't have to move very far to get into the next zone. They just have to expose their positions long enough to start getting a couple of those shots off, and that's exactly what's happened. They've gotten the first knock. This is important. Dell down and out as well. He technically wasn't an active participant. It's a 3v3.
And so next knock, maybe hack shots again. Has to watch out though. He's out in the blue. No shots coming from Pavis, getting a knock as well. Now the question is, what will Mr. Ziptide? He is the unknown factor for the Loot Goblins, but still 22 kills already for them, and getting even more. 5 kills for Niller. So man, this is not looking too good for the Bullet Dodgers. They are dodging kills more or less. Hackshot's the only one with 2 kills so far, trying to get the rest in the smoke there, while Mr. Ziptai is still alive as well. And this might be a trade over here. Irish gets a knock against Cassie. Hackshot's down as well, and Mr. Ziptime might be able to get the next place in there. Still trying to get shots in, and 20 kills for the Loot Goblins. They are unstoppable.
Gab's Lightning Storm and Mr. Zippai will successfully get to 2nd place, so congratulations there for surviving until the end of the fight, but ultimately it is the Loot Goblins. They crossed the big 2-0 mark with 21 kills. They are your chicken dinner winners for game number 3. Very, very well played.
2,874 damage. That's even more than we had prior by the Bears, even though they had 2 kills more. Nonetheless, well played. The Bears, that's the first match they did not get that chicken dinner, so they have to get back on their feet. Dell's mode was not in their favor.
Exactly right. So that's 2 wins in a row for the Bears, but the Loot Goblins spoiling the party with the victory there in game number 3. If you've been watching the stream so far and you fancy playing yourself, you can. All you have to do is join the game. So make sure you get the game loaded up. We're going to a quick break, but when we come back, we've got games 4 and 5. Get in the lobby. Welcome back, folks. We're about to get started with game number 4 of 5. Tonight's PUBG community custom games for Reddit. I am Jorisar. With me is Envy. We just had a rather interesting Blame Dell game.
That's one way to put it. Well, let's see who got the kills first. Top 4 teams: Loot Goblins getting the winner chicken dinner with 21 kills and 2,874 damage. Survival time 24 minutes and 4 seconds, 3 seconds less. Or Gaps the Lightning Storm with 11 kills. Then we had the Bullet Dodgers with 2 kills only, and the Snipers snacking on snacks with 2 kills as well. We had limited damage. We had only Farmers and MK14 with the most horrible iron sights you could have in this game. But let's see our top 9 players. There's not really much of a change there. We have Hackshots and Hutch Frags getting into the top 9. Aside from that, everything else stayed the same. Des still in the lead with 1 point in front of Jinx and Gatrack.
Okay, yeah, and that's important because we did have, of course, the same team winning the first 2 games, but actually, they're not really making much leeway with the points in game number 3, so it's interesting to see what they'll do in game 4. And you mentioned the worst iron sights, and I mean, Envy, come on, let's give some anti-credit to the M24, because I feel like we could have gone M24 route, and that would have been horrible.
Well, you can still see good enough with the M24. It's not blocking as much vision as the MK14 and the Farmers. So
maybe, but with the Mark 14, you still have like a point. I feel like with the M24, you're almost having to peer over the top of the gun and you can't actually see anything. Whereas with the Mark 14, because you have the full auto mode, I feel like you get to use that to your advantage a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, and coming to an advantage for the teams and to your favorite map of the day, we have Hot and Heavy, Panzerfaust only. This will be played on a Paramo first-person squad mode.
I am loving this, Envy. I live for this game mode. I think it's going to be very interesting. We don't see Paramo enough, so I'm very happy to see it in custom games. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Let's see if it will be, because Paramo and Karakin, one of those 2 maps is pristine for those Panzerfaust modes, I would say. Considering the esport point of view, I would say get rid of them. But for custom,
sure,
those things are loads of fun.
I mean, I want to see someone get a knock with a Panzerfaust over a hill. That, for me, will be peak Paramo. We will go into the replay. We will dig out the moment, and we will find it. If someone can use a Panzerfaust like a mortar and successfully get a knock or a flush in this game, I will be absolutely delighted. Let's go ahead. Oh, very nice. What I like to call an accelerated circle, because over 50% of that is basically unplayable. Very interesting start.
Definitely. This will be interesting for the players. We can see some of them already dropping out first, not going for the circle. They know where the circle is, but decide to go for, well, rather calm approach to the circle. And that is, in the bottom right corner, one of the German teams, if I'm not mistaken, with Namaste, Kaffee und Kuchen und Erster von, I don't know what it says, but that should be a German team, if I'm not mistaken. So hello and welcome to my fellow Germans. We can see there is not only panzers, we can also see health and stuff. So the mortars will be played as well. And first knock goes to Jinx against Main Goddamn Bun. And this is a fight between Afterlife and the Bears. And the Bears are in trouble.
This is messy to begin with. Because of the way the zone popped up, it was entirely probable that multiple teams would be trying to land in buildings next to each other, and when everyone gets Panzerfaust, that becomes a huge problem. As you can see, this isn't UGC style. We don't have unlimited panzers or anything like that. You are going to have to use them once, and then, unfortunately, go in to grab a reload. Sadly, for Bubmeister, we're not going to do that right now. And De Beers eliminated 19 out of 19. That is not something I had on my bingo card after they did so well in the first 2 games of the day. I love this.
And Mango says, all right, row, row, row your boat gently down
Never
the
change.
lava.
That's great.
Young Quality with the next 2 knockouts. And the answer to life says, next level is mortaring your enemies. Things gets another kill in as well as Pivas. And now Young Quality with the possible knock, and he gets it against Binhead again.
I love that because Bin Hannigan's friend, his teammate, closed the door, but not fast enough to prevent the Panzerfaust going through. That was perfect comic timing. Can Young Quality try and finish them off? Smoke's out. Not going to stop him.
There was a door in the way this time. Quality and Asland trying their best. They did get the re-knock against Binhead again. But we heard the beep of the self-res. And there's another team advancing against those 2 teams. So this will be interesting to see.
He's on 16 health, choosing not to use the first aid at the moment. A particularly strong fart will kill him at this point in the game, so I'm a little bit surprised that with Panzerfaust in play, he's opting not to go for the heal. Never mind, doesn't get the opportunity to now. Doesn't need to be a direct hit. Young Quality goes down.
Marty's saying, all right, if I can't, or Akimada's teammate saying, all right, if I can't fight teammates, I'm going to shoot my own mates.
Exactly.
Well, we see another team losing their life. Binhead again for saving Private Ryan's loot. Eliminated. So we're down with 17 teams. But the fight in this compound will stay tall. Because we can see the Pan Smashers have some, well, friends in form of Lookma on Twitch. As well as the Red Zone Runners. Or at least one player for the Red Zone Runners. Which is Master5428.
Already down to 17 teams. And unfortunately, Matty's neon yellow flippers not doing particularly well in this game mode, standing him out on a lot of very dark colored ground. He goes down and is out of the game. Young Quality back up, and Anders looking to make that not the case. Only doing 3 damage there. I genuinely thought that was either going to take him out or do significant damage. So I'm a little bit surprised to see the number 3 on the screen, but Anders at the moment, he's got an excellent angle.
Yeah, I guess we have less damage or less range for the Panzer, it seems. Because we had a few close calls, but if you hit, it still makes a lot of damage. Sleepy Chicken eliminated as well. Patrick dies to Brutus. And yeah, the question from Caesar would be, to Brutus?
Exactly. And we'll see what Brutus can do back. But so far today, he hasn't made the impact that he might have wanted to, but he's got opportunities to do that here, and 2 more games, of course. If you're watching this right now, going, hang on a second, I want to be a part of this. Well, there is still a game left after this if you want to come in and participate, but time is running out. This, of course, is hot and heavy. It is our Panzerfaust game mode, and it's going to be played on Paramo. A lot of fun so far. Crazy amount of action, because phase 1 basically chopped the map in thirds, and you've only got the northern section to play with. So everyone was dropping in the same areas. Annie Mango going nowhere fast, unfortunately. I noticed Baffish isn't there with him, but he's going to be rowing for both of them, I am sure. And
Most likely.
yeah, so many players already gone, and phase 2 has only just been announced. This is a bloodbath to start off.
Yeah, Quality with another hit there, but gets hit by Archimedes, and that, well, that was on point. Look, I'm on Twitch. The next team eliminated on rank 16, and like we already said, if you want to join for the last match, exclamation mark, join in the Twitch chat, join the Discord, check the info channels, and then join us for match number 5 of the day. If you like some Mad Max Fury Rampage on the Battlegrounds.
You can see on the mini-map on the right-hand side there, if you look towards the bottom of the circle, Brain Lag, teammate of Annie Mango, is making his way through the circle now. Now, he is not playing in the pacifist style. He is the weapon of the team. So it'll be interesting to see what everybody ends up doing. Whether he can find a way to maybe take out a team or two. That would be very, very impressive if he does.
Yeah, and we could also see in the bottom right corner, we have Bafish close to the German team. Running around there, trying to get away from them. Not quite sure if they're gonna let him leave the hot drop heroes, but it's looking like it. They're nice, so they let him leave.
Do we think they're looking for him? Maybe not. Yeah, he got away with that. Now, another team relatively close by. They will not be as friendly as Bafish. A couple of early warning shots from the boss. Is that going to dissuade them from coming any closer? Doesn't look like it. In the meantime, Pivice trying to find a possible opportunity to get a quick initial knock and come in. You can see the boss uses 2 Panzerfausts and then goes, hang on a second, I need some more. Finally gets some more, but we're having some spawn problems here on Parabo by the looks of things. Dell's having to spawn in more for everyone.
More. Goblins. Some shots in the direction of Sniper snacking on snacks. And there was your mortar style shot. Unfortunately, did not hit. In your point of view, does it count if they shoot over buildings?
You know what? Nice shot. I'm going to say yes, actually. If you're properly shooting over a building and you had no direct... As long as you had no direct line of sight to your target, then I think it counts. You know what I mean? If you can still see them on top of a hill and there just happens to be a building in between, that's not very impressive. But if you shot over the building and you couldn't actually see them on the other side, I think that counts.
Right. Max not coming in there by the loot goblins. Ali coming out. That will hurt a bit more than a panzer to the face. Finch Destroyer has to watch out. He still has a panzer. He still also has opponents quite close to him. Fury did find him a shot against one of the players from the loot goblins, and we are seeing more and more players getting knocked and getting eliminated.
This is starting to get to the business end now as we reach the 10-minute mark of this custom game. Afterlife eliminated. Surprisingly few teams eliminated at the moment. Lots of players gone, but relatively few full teams disappearing. I think that's now about to change. You can see on the minimap on the bottom right, 4 teams in the same near vicinity. It's a slow fight, but when the knocks happen, it can steamroll incredibly quickly.
And incredibly quick is what the teams might have to be if they want to get a good position in the circle. Brutus with another knock against Turnik. It's the red zone rejects. Might be able to get a kill in there against Safe Rest. Oh, Brutus unfortunately a bit too close to the wall, it seems. Just don't forget, if you are using the panzers, if you are too close to the wall or aiming too high up, you will get damage, because the backlash from that weapon is, well, not to underestimate.
High ground here as well, near the lab in V, could be quite important. If we have team Safe Res holding the top of the hill for as long as possible, it's much easier to get a really good shot against someone below because you hit relatively near them and you can still do 100 damage. But if you're below, you have to hit an unbelievable shot because if you hit it too high, it just whizzes over their head. So there is a real high ground advantage into playing Panzerfausts.
Definitely, especially if you hit too low. You might not get enough damage to get that knock in. We saw that a few times already where the shots were a bit too short to make even a bit of damage. So, like this one, you get 10 damage, 3 damage, 102 damage. That one was on point. Directly down as well. Brutus back on his feet. Save res. Through the self-res. But still, safe res is going for the push. They want to get those kills. And Mr. Zip Tie also back on his feet. Same goes for Yaraki. Let's see if they will be able to get those kills in against the team of the Red Zone Rejects.
Baffish is still in. You can see him towards the south of the mini-map. Staying out of trouble. Very much just behind the fight, which is an excellent place to be, by the way, because you don't end up getting suspected. Chances are you get the team wipe, and that's it. You don't look for anyone else, so really good stuff there from Baffish. I love that the blue chip transmitter is being used as well to bring folks back into the game. Always good to see. And now we've got, oh wow, even more Panzerfaust spawned here to allow the flow of the game to continue. 13 minutes, 11 teams left. Oh, Dustarino, you're going to have to be dealing with far, far more lift than that if you want to try and get one of those knocks at range.
Esser von Dreien now with a knock against Talented. That is our fight down in the south of the map, even outside of the circle. 2 against 3 so far, because Namaste has already made his way to the next compound, waiting for his chance to maybe hold off the opposing players. And we could see the circle did shift a bit in favor of the teams in the north of the map.
I love that everyone is walking past Baffish at the moment and he's still doing what he does best. Baffish has truly elevated the pacifist game in PUBG to an absolute art form. And it's great to watch. There can be 4 teams battling it out all over, around, to the left, right, above him, below. It doesn't even matter. Baffish finds a way to stay invisible. Delightful.
Or maybe he is visible, but the teams decide, all right, if he wants to play the pacifist game, we're not gonna hinder him. Let's use it to our advantage. Phoenix and Slash now with 2 knocks against the Red Zone Rejects. And it's just Brutus on his feet. But we can see the self-reses are in effect. Monistel facing off against Brutus. While we can see Mr. Ziptie back on his feet, but gets knocked back down by Turnik. The question is, how many self-reses does he have? And 0 is the answer. Turnik with the kill against Brutus, and the Red Zone Rejects have been eliminated. Turnik with 4 kills and 582 damage. The damage and kill leader of this match. Most damage taken by Fury was 508.
Finally into the top 10 teams. 9 technically, if you discount Dell being in a team. So that is fair enough. Oh dear. The answer to life giving their opponents the answer to a heck of a lot else. And that is 1 more player down and out. It's only Talented and Naive left, remember, for that answer to life. So they haven't got 4 bodies to bear on these team fights. They have to be a little bit careful with how they approach these. Or they can just approach them in the afterlife, because Slash absolutely just demolished them. And wow, that was a really... I know it was only for a flush, but that was a beautifully placed follow-up shot. Really nice stuff.
Definitely. Definitely. Slash just on point with those shots. While we can see Baffish just lying there in the tall grass, waiting for his opponents to run past him. We can see Dell gives him a slight visit there, running beside him and trying to prohibit safe res from finding him.
Some really fun long-range shots as well. I don't know for sure if the shot on Lone Wolverine was a super long-range shot. It looked like that could have been one for the highlight reel, but I didn't get a good glimpse of exactly where it originated. Either way, very much getting knocked there. And you can see we unfortunately have another squad elimination. It does, though, mean that we get into our top 8. I'm so surprised, Invi, that it took until now for us to get into the top 8 squads. I thought we were getting into top 8 squads within the first 5 minutes of this game, because that is how brutal this format is.
Yeah, same here. But like I said, it seems like we have a bit of less damage the farther the Panzer hits. And we still have 14 players only alive for those 7 teams. So that's a bit surprising as well. Nonetheless, 17 minutes have been played over here on Paramo. And they're getting closer and closer to the end. So Armor Glider, unfortunately eliminated on rank 7.
Slash has been, he hasn't got the most number of kills in this game, but he's had one of the most impressive shots that I've seen so far. He's currently trying to pick off the bullet dodgers. Still 3 of them here, hack shots, being forced to heal in the blue and effectively negating most of the use he just got from that first aid, unfortunately. Doesn't have to run too much further, though, to make into phase 5. We've now got 45 seconds left to go until phase 6 very much becomes a reality. 2 Panzerfaust and another first aid for hack shots. Waiting for the reload of Panzerfaust, no doubt, to come in from Delzor shortly, because so many weapons are being used. Can you imagine if we didn't have sandbox mode and they weren't being replenished right now? It would just be people punching each other.
That's a mode I want to see as well, though. Boxing match for the final champion.
A free-for-all.
Rocky. Oh, there's a lot of Panzers being deployed there. Hackshots might be in trouble. Safres has the high ground against him. Cassie's still alive though as well. Flash down to 7 HP. He needs to heal and needs to get away from that top of the hill. The bullet dodgers are a bit in trouble because all 3 of them are down. The question is, who still has that self-res? And the answer is Hackshots again. Back down to his knees. Cassie eliminated, her Hackshots eliminated. That's it. Bullet dodgers out on rank number 6, which means we are down to 4 teams, considering that one of those teams was the good old Dell himself. And now we're down to 3 teams.
Yes, indeed. Dell getting out of the picture there. It looks like it's a 2v1v1 in this final zone. The boss is down. He's the last player for Snack, but he has got a self-res. He's just used it as well. And unfortunately, he goes down. Oh, a second self-res. Well, that'll be useful. Might as well see him punch to death at this point. That's exactly what's happening. You might actually get that up in time. If he manages to get a Panzerfaust up after the self-res, that is incredible. In the meantime, we've got Baffish, a super survivor. Looks like he's going to make it through to second place. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Baffish doesn't win this.
I'm gonna join that prediction, I guess. This will be a blue zone finish, most likely. Not quite sure if Baffish is aware that there are 2 opponents. He's trying to draw closer to them. So let's see how long it takes them to get the kills in. First Panzer hits not. Second Panzer does a bit of damage, and the third Panzer is the end for Baffish. Safres, victorious. Would win a chicken dinner, 16 kills with 2,274 damage.
Turnick there, as well as Slash, doing an incredible job at carrying the team to victory there in game number 4. Very nicely played. Panzerfaust on Paramo, absolutely the game that I was looking forward to the most, I would say, today. And I have to say, it did not disappoint. Next, though, Envy, it's the game you like the most. It's going to be Mad Max to finish things off.
Yes, and that means we're gonna hop over for a quick break before we will return with match number 5.
Alright, ready? Watch this. Ready for this pre-fire? Oh shit. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! What? Oh! Out of the car! Out of the car! Ah! Alright, I'm gonna nade these mofos.
No, get your gun out.
I will. Watch this though. Oh, it's cooked way too early. Whoops.
Ready? Go. Shoot.
Did I just see right there? A muzzle? Oh, dude, I'm gonna run over this wall.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, they're getting pound cards.
Hey, GG man! Oh! 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 Hey! Guys, Hachi. This one's for you, right? Woo! God. Wait. Woo. Bro, I'm just up in there. I'm gonna come down with the boys. Come down. This guy's name is I'm Still Gaming. What a sick name. Oh my god, brother, I'm so sorry. I came in a little hot. Sorry. I came in a little hot.
We are not alone. There's more to life than this. Show me what you know. Take me to that place. I'm stuck within these walls. I need a quick escape. You know where I can go. Take me to that place.
Welcome back, folks. We are about to get started in our final game of tonight's PUBG Reddit community custom games. It's Mad Max. Envy, you were saying you were looking forward to this. I am as well. I think it is one of the most popular custom games ever of all time. And we're about to see it as our final game tonight.
Yeah, as we can see, top 4 teams of the last match. We have Safe Res with the win and 16 kills. The Super Survivors made it to second thanks to Bafish and his beautiful display of pacifism. Then we have the Sniper Snacking Snacks, or Snacking on Snacks, on rank 3 and 4th place for the running target.
That was the individual game that we just saw, but now we get to take a look at the overall leaderboard because we have a new front runner. Okay, it's early days. This is day number 1 of season 6. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but Fury has leapt into the lead, the co-lead, I should say. 37 points overall alongside Daz.
Yeah, he has more time points, but less rank points. So, I'm not quite sure if he still is in the lead or if Daz might be in the lead, because I'm not quite sure if the tiebreaker is rank points or time points.
Right.
But still, good for them, both for them. And we'll see in match number 5 who will get the crown on this first day.
Yep, that's going to be absolutely delightful stuff. It's the final game of the day as well, so if you want to go ahead and grab yourself a couple of extra points, whether it is for the purposes of the bonus points or something else, now is the time to do it. You will not have much more opportunity. And also, Mad Max is a game where, if I'm being honest, I think it's relatively straightforward to try and land and not pick up a weapon for 5 minutes. All you have to do is be in vehicle. So I think we're going to get a golden opportunity for teams to do this.
Yeah, the thing is you can't drive solo because you will have only crossbows in those cars or vehicles, because we don't know if it will be cars or if it will be something else. And it will be played as duo, so you better get your duo mate on your vehicle as well. So otherwise, you would have to switch seats, and that might prove to be difficult.
This is very difficult indeed. I mean, I also wonder whether all of the crossbows are world spawns or whether Dell puts them into your inventory. And does it count as picking up a weapon if you use sandbox mode and someone gives you a weapon? Again, more questions I'm not sure I know the answers to. I wonder if they've tested that.
As far as I know, it will count towards you have picked up a weapon, so no points in this case for Battlefish, unfortunately.
So we need to be careful with that sandbox mode. Then we can spawn vehicles as much as we want, but we don't want to be spawning crossbows unless, of course, we don't mind that nobody gets those extra points. People are going to be thinking about those side missions, trying to think of how they can maximize their point scoring in this game. It's very difficult to get something like a 20 kill game out of Mad Max Fury Grounds, especially when it's not squads and it's only duos as well. It's possible, Envy. We could see some teams get 10 plus kills, but it is so difficult for that to happen.
Good thing though, the kill points do not count towards the placement in the end. You only got points for placement and ranking, for time and ranking. So kill points would be a difficult story for some of the teams. Nonetheless, we'll hop over for Mad Max Fury Grounds. We'll play Rondo TPP Duo.
So here we go, folks. The plane is in the air. It's the final game of tonight's PUBG Reddit community custom games. We hope you folks have enjoyed the broadcast as much as we've enjoyed casting these games. It's truly been tremendous fun. And fingers crossed, we have a fantastic game to finish off. Take a look at this. There is no messing about, is there? We can see where that circle is going from the very first moment of this game. My goodness.
58 players will join us. I'm not quite sure how fast the circle will move, but the moment everybody has landed on the ground, vehicles will be spawned for the place. And I am looking forward to which vehicle we might get. In favor of Armor, I hope it will be gliders. Considering though the circle is quite small, I doubt that.
It's so difficult when you have a glider like towards the end of the game because the circle is just that small. You're just taking more damage from the blue than anything else. It is a frustrating experience to be in a glider then, for sure.
Full armor with Hammy together. They're waiting for the vehicles. Armor just wiggling his cam around, or the observer wiggling the camera around.
This is impressive.
Oh, and there we go. Oh, sample tags got knocked by the car.
We were waiting for it. We did find one. Oh.
Over there on top of the hill, Battlefish and Animango waiting for their chance to stay alive. Let's see if that spot they picked on top of the hill will provide to be good for them. And on there, on top of the roof. Yeah, Matty, unfortunately, did not listen to the rules. Or maybe his teammate didn't listen to the rules and was in a building. Therefore, the car spawned on top of it.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, sadly, but we'll see what we can do. I don't know if Dell will be able to go. Depends on if they were playing as a solo, right? If they have any teammates that can maybe help the res, I don't know. But what I do know is that for now, not an awful lot that can be done, sadly. You got some crossbows round the corner of a building. Not exactly, to be fair, in the biggest spirit, I would say, of Mad Max. They will need to start moving towards circle relatively soon. Maybe they just don't have the vehicle available, but if there's a way to allow / just to move on out, I think that would be useful. Easier said than done, though, unfortunately, in this game mode.
Question is, where was Man still killed? And most likely Slash is waiting for a chance to get his chip back. Get the recall in. Well, we don't know that. Over to our next fight, as we can see. Forward, left, back, right. There's a shot in the direction of Erster von Dreien. Means another team over here. Brainlack. This time, solo. Was playing with Bafish and Animango prior.
Deciding then that the pacifist life maybe not for him. Well, that's to be fair, you can get into
That's a
that
way
vehicle.
to spawn a car.
You can probably drive it away as well. I certainly
reminds
think
me
that's
of,
possible.
This kind of reminds me of that British meme kind of thing. You can't park there, mate.
You can't park there, mate. Exactly right. And they would be completely correct as well. Can't park there. Crossbow kills already ongoing. Doesn't look like the piece is going to last long. You don't usually get too much action in the first 2-3 phases of a Mad Max game, but we are now starting to need to make our way towards zone. Only 3 minutes until we can get in the circle. Slash here. This is a fun fight, don't get me wrong. I enjoy this, but if everybody involved in this fight ends up in the blue, it's going to suck for them.
For all of them, yes, most likely. Question is, will Slash stay alive long enough for that to happen? Or, with the position Mr. Ziptie currently has, it might prove difficult for him, especially raining down those flashes. Well, we have another team eliminated. The Haunted Death Boxes eliminated Afterlife. Slash now in trouble. Still more flashes coming in. Crossbow in hands for both teams, now reloading.
Yep, the smoke gun out for a second.
I'm not really sure that will help. Flash with some good damage there, but gets knocked by Mr. Ziptie. And that's it for the Hot Drop Heroes.
Can we give 10 out of 10 for effort, though, for Slash? That was...
definitely.
Survived the flashes, was chasing one of the people going after him with a pan, nearly got the first knock. It's a pretty solid effort. Unfortunately, he's out of the game now, but I do appreciate that.
I concur, I concur. Let's see what else will happen. Currently, we have over them flying. We have Dell, while Clyde PCS gets a pan kill in against Erster von Dreien, and therefore the Bullet Riders are eliminated as well. While we can see some more rotations coming in, and this looks more like a Mad Max style, because we have some drive-by shots with those crossbows.
And this is what Mad Max is all about, right? Getting in the vehicles, getting, in my opinion, waiting until phase 7 or phase 8, and then unleashing the frag grenade that kills 6 people. Like, that is what I'm all about for Mad Max. I think people use frag grenades way too early in this game mode. That's my hot take. It is difficult to survive until then, but if you do, the payoff is magnificent.
It proves to be difficult to dodge that. The smaller the circle is. And we saw that in one of the highlights from last time's, from last month Reddit Customs, because King MDS did an awful lot of damage with that shot from the mortar, taking out almost everyone in his proximity.
Doing an excellent job there. Toon Destroyer, really good leading with the crossbow shot. And misses, unfortunately. Of Pan the Dan, eliminated here. There are way more teams, of course, because we have duos in this game rather than full squads. But now we have to focus on properly getting into zone. It's going to get tighter and tighter now over the next couple of minutes until all hell breaks loose in the final circle. What you don't want to do is lose your vehicle or flip it for any reason, because if you're not in a car, people notice and you get run over.
Yeah, well, what I'm asking myself currently, Are Bafish and Animango allowed to use cars? Because theoretically, those are not weapons. They could use them to get forwards.
Oh yes, I think
they do have a lot of time. They are currently playing on foot. Well, we can see that. Well, it looks like Nilla has taken a hostage there with KTPD.
I think you absolutely can. Like Bafish and Animango, I would expect them to get in a vehicle. They just have to make sure they don't kill anyone. I feel like as long as they do that, that should be allowed, right?
Even if they kill someone with a car, that should be allowed in my eyes. Nonetheless, the Noble Noobs currently fighting against Squad. And unfortunately, Mr. Ziptie is now solo after Schweppy has been eliminated by Agent. Trying to get away there for the Noble Noobs, trying to get into the circle, or close to the circle at least, trying to prohibit Squad from entering the circle. And he gets knocked. A nice headshot by Agent, and now he has to use his self-res. The question is, will he be run over by one of the other teams, or will they fight against each other there?
I am so surprised no one went for him there. Mr. Ziptie is a very, very lucky player right now. That much is for sure. 1 minute to go until phase 3 properly closes. And you can see on your minimap, you can get a little bit of a hint as to how close everybody is to each other right now. I love this. And once it gets to like phase 4, phase 5, you start to get to a point where people are pushing each other into the blue zone, because it starts to do a fair bit of damage, and there's just too many people in too small a place. So we absolutely love to see it. Oh, that's our one. Caster's Curse eliminated in 21st.
Yeah, one thing though surprises me a bit. The only one in the middle of the circle is Dell. Everybody else was currently driving on the outskirts, on the edge of the circle. You can see a bit more movement closer to the center now, but the only thing we see is that everybody else is driving around on the outskirts trying to find opponents to fight before they will make their move. And this right here,
that
is looking fun.
That is interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. So first of all, we've solved the question, is it okay for Bafish and Animango to get into a car? Clearly the answer is yes, but they found a way to persevere outside of it as well, and I appreciate that. A lot of people in this final compound here insisting on not being in a car. I love that the wheels are shot out as well of the death bus there. And they clearly want this to be their holdout. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in circle forever, but some players just having fun outside of vehicles. Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes someone gets killed. Like a brain lag with the knock against Cassie. Titan the Cat now has to reload. Best to reload both of them. Unfortunately, his opponents in the Will Shack there have still some self-reses. He has one as well, but he will be eliminated by KTPDK. So far, it's not looking too good. The Haunted Death Box is eliminated. We are down to 14 teams and flipping cars all over the map there.
Have Bafish and Animango been oh, that was such a good shot. I'm a little bit surprised that the Pan Smashers didn't get another kill there. Oh, hello. That is not a safe point to exit your vehicle. And you're technically outside a zone at the moment as well. There is no way. That must have been an accidental exit. What is going on? Okay, we're being picked up by the team. That was so unnecessarily risky. What?
How do they survive this? I'm not quite sure how that happened. Oh! There are crashes! Crashes coming in!
The blue zone?
Oh my gosh. This is not looking too good for those two teams
charge
there.
them. What are you doing? Keep going, keep going.
Winch Destroyer and Clyde have problems
so many
with
questions.
their life, I guess.
So many questions, Envy, about what just happened. I am so confused on so many levels.
Random chaos all around. This is Mad Max Fury Roads, and this happens every time, I guess.
Absolutely wild.
Not in that way, but it's I would call it Mad Max Chaos Grounds, to be honest.
It kind of is. Bafish And Annie Mango still not rumbled. Love that. Absolutely love it. They will continue as long as they possibly can. They're basically guaranteed a top 3 finish now. Clearly. Oh dear! Going to try and finish off the team,
Unfortunately for
forgetting,
Natari.
of course, that someone else could be popping by at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That is brutal. And Okrasama using the machete to great effect there. So De Beers, in this game at least, able to get a couple more kills on the board. And there is Ormalama. There is the glider. No one's shooting up there just yet. But as the circle gets smaller and smaller, that's going to get harder and harder to control.
And I doubt that you will be, most likely you won't be able to really shoot the glider with the crossbow. I'm not quite sure how far the reach of those bolts is. Nonetheless, we can see a bit of a destroyed ground there, Lightbite, with a bit of trouble steering his UAZ. I'm missing the name of that car.
I feel like
Yeah, you get my
I feel
drift
like
there.
crossbows, they can hit the glider. I'm not too worried about that. I think that unless the glider gets to maximum height, the crossbow's going to be able to hit it. What I am worried about, Envy, is you're going to need so many crossbow bolts to eliminate the glider in terms of HP that it's like, it's not even worth trying. You know what I mean? Oh, damn. That was a nice shot.
there against Sarge. He's eliminated as well. This leaves one player left for 50 Hertz, and if I'm not mistaken, that should be Hackshots. Oh no, yeah, it's Hackshots. Currently in the northern part of the circle.
Hackshots at this point of the game tends to be on top of a rock somewhere in the middle of the circle trying to get his 8th kill. That's sort of where I expect Hackshots to be in Mad Max, if I'm honest.
It looks like Dell is protecting one of the players there. We can see the Pan Smashers are still back with 2 players. Even though 2-inch Destroyer got knocked there quite early. And I saw a tuk-tuk there. I saw a tuk-tuk. Oh man, I haven't seen that in ages.
Tuk-tuks are a bit brutal in this game mode as well because it's just so unbelievably open compared to a normal car window. It's certainly not ideal. Annie Mango just chilling out close to a tree, hoping no one spots him. Doing a pretty good job of that. I suspect that means Baffish is dead. Not 100% certain on that, but I think so.
I can't see him anymore on the map stream, so I doubt that he's still alive. Hackshots gets another knock, running over KTPDK and gets a kill as well. 50 Hertz eliminating the answer to life. And Dell, well, he wanted to eliminate Dell as well, or at least... Oh no, there's Baffish. He's still alive, driving around in a UZ.
He has a chance to win this game. Okay, here's an interesting scenario I want to ask. Can Baffish win the game by pushing someone else into the blue zone? Does that still count as pacifist? Because he won't get the credit for the kill. Does that make it okay?
It is not a kill in the direct sense. I guess it is okay, because he did not use a weapon. A car does not count as a weapon in my books.
Well, if you run someone over with a car, you get credit for the kill. But if he's not running someone over and he's just pushing another car out into the blue zone, I feel like Baffish should be free to do that.
Even running people over with a car would count as, well, most likely an accident at best.
Annie Mango just killed himself.
Or at
I have
least
no
knocked
idea
himself
how.
out through a car explosion.
That must have taken a lot of crossbow, but oh, 2-inch Destroyer down and out to Jidra. He's had a really good game. He's had some very, very sick knocks. I think he only got 2 kills at the end, but he had so many fun knocks. It was really enjoyable to watch him play. And we now have the Pan Smashers eliminated. RGB for the win. We'll take them out. There's 7 teams and 9 players alive, so only 2 teams actually have 2 players in them. Otherwise, everyone else is a solo at this point.
Well, Baffish did get out of the car. He's trying to use his opponents to his advantage, joining Brain Lag there. And gets eliminated, unfortunately, with a shot to the head. Well done. Headshot and another kill for RGB for the win, eliminating Battlegrounds, getting their 5th kill.
We can see a player sneaking in right at the edge there next to Delzor. But unfortunately, the next zone means that there's no way to sneak anywhere anymore. Ormalama out of the glider now. A little bit too... Ooh, dear. Hammy's hangout needing to join him in the death bus. A little bit too small now in the circle for the glider to fly around comfortably. So they've swapped to land-based vehicles. Completely fine. This is where frag grenades are absolutely amazing. I haven't seen any, so it doesn't look like, I think, Envy. I don't think we have any in this game mode today. But this is what I would say frag grenades for if they were enabled.
At least not for now, depending on how mischievous Dell is. This might change. Best chances so far, because they have the number advantage for Ormalama's glider. Ackshot's now running around. I'm not quite sure if he does not have a car anymore, or if he's just trying to survive and shoot people out, but he gets knocked just barely at the edge of the circle. Question is, will he survive, or will Bubumeister just run him over? And the answer is Hammy's hangout gets the last laugh and the last kill against him.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was in the process of being run over, but Hammy managed to sneak that win in, although he gets knocked himself, unfortunately. And that would be justice if Bubumeister manages to come back and get the finish onto Hammy's hangout. That would absolutely be delicious revenge. It doesn't look like it at the moment. There's every possibility that Hammy has a self-revive. I can't see from here if he does. Yes, he does. He's back up.
He's back on his feet.
And that means that Ormalama and Hammy are now the only team with 2 players left alive.
A light bite was just pushed out of the circle. Can still see Dell dancing around in the middle, waiting for his final countdown, for his final bout. Unfortunately, Hammy knocked through the blue. Question is, does he have another self-rest? Can he get back to his feet? Almost run over there by Lightbite, who gets the kill against Hammy's hangout. Ormalama pushed out of the circle there by Bubumeister, who's already as well quite low. Question is, who will stay alive? Lightbite versus Bubumeister. This most likely might be Ormalama's match if he's lucky. Lightbite pushing forwards, not getting the hit in there. And this is 1 against 1 against 1. Bubumeister's back on his feet.
Somehow missed that. Oh, and he's back in the car and he gets Lightbite. He reverses into Lightbite. Ormalama now knocked by the zone. And as a result, it is Team PUBG Reddit win. But who was second? It's Bubumeister.
No. Bubumeister is still alive. Dell did stop the circle because he will have a 1 against 1 fight against Bubumeister now.
Very good. Okay. He needs to get healed up as well.
Pan fight.
The traditional pan fight at the end of Mad Max. No, you don't start there.
Boo knows he has to heal himself.
Does Bubumeister want to heal? I don't think he's understanding. He needs to heal.
He cannot hit Dell as long as Dell is in his...
Yep, fair.
All right.
We gave him the chance to heal. He didn't heal.
Dance a bit.
Congratulations to Bubumeister, though. He will take home the spoilers. And yeah, he did a great job and won Mad Max Fury Grounds. So very, very well played there. Always a fan favorite as far as game modes are concerned.
RGB for the win, with the win in hyphen there, because well, theoretically Dell won, but that does not count. So first place for RGB for the win with the most kills, 11 to be in total. To be precise, that was what the word I was searching for. Yeah, and we're waiting for the API and the updated leaderboard, the top 4 and the total leaderboard. And man, this was an evening full of surprises. And what do you say to match number 3?
It didn't quite go the way I thought it would after we saw the first 2 games where the Bears had so many kills. They got the back-to-back chicken dinners. It looked like they were going to run away with the evening. Daz in particular on top of the season leaderboard. Looked like he could have an evening where he had 75 points at the end of it. It looked devastating for everyone else. And then we had a couple of twists and turns. It was fun. It wasn't so one-sided anymore. We had Fury and Co. I think joined him up there briefly. And we had different teams starting to rack up the points. So I'm very curious to see how that last game impacted the overall leaderboards. It is still day 1 of season 6, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and it'll be interesting to see where things stand.
Let's see who will be on top of the leaderboard at the end, because Kazoo and his teammates from last season were not participating today, because or at least I didn't see them. I'm not quite sure. They were racking up those points in the last matches we had last season. And, well, maybe we will have some new leaders of the pack in this season.
I think so. And don't forget, folks, it's early days. Even if you didn't participate in the first lot of customs, you can still join, and there's still a chance that you could go ahead with great play and make your way to the top of the leaderboard. You don't have to be here every single night, although admittedly it does help. You have to be in it to win it after all. But there's still plenty of possibility for people to pop up and really dominate next time as well. So that was game number 5 of 5. Sadly, there are no more games to participate in tonight, but you will be able to pop back next month. I think the next PUBG Customs is, I want to say, a week after mine. I do mine on the first Saturday of the month. So that is Saturday, November the 1st, the next one, 2 weeks from today. And then after that, I imagine Reddit's, Gab's probably going to tell me straight away what they are, but I would imagine they're the 8th or the 15th. So we've got plenty of games to go on and plenty more opportunities for anyone fancying themselves, not just watching, but being a player as well to participate.
Also, we do have the opportunity, even though, like Dora said, if you did not participate, you still can get more points. But let's hop over for the top 4. RGB for the win with 11 kills, Boomeister with 6, even though he only had 103 damage, and Dridger with a 5 with 471 damage. Then we had Armalama's Gliders on second with 0 kills for Armalama with 94 damage, and Hammy's Hangout gets 1 kill with 0 damage. So I'm not quite sure how that works. I guess he just ran over someone.
Yeah, and I wonder if Baffish got that, would he be happy?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not quite sure. we might see him in the leaderboard sometime. Gab's Lightning Storm, 1 kill, and last but not least, Brain Lag, forward, left, back, right with 4 kills, almost closing in there on the top match.
And look at that. In the overall leaderboards now, we have Lightbite tying with Daz now, 44 points for the season. Fury and Hackshots then on 40. Cassie, The Boss, Lone Wolverine, Sample Text, and Jinx all on 37. So nice and tight. It is only day number 1 of the new season, but still really, really fun on the leaderboard.
Yeah. Lightbite taking on the win. And these are our winners of 500 G-coins each. Diamond Orc, then we have Lone Wolverine, Nilla, Batterwolf, Schweppy, Klimaye, Jinx, Brutus, What If, and Muddy Creek. Please check discord.gg/PUBG Reddit for more info on how to claim your G-coin.
Congratulations to all of them. And make sure you get on Discord and collect your G-Coin. That's 5,000 G-Coin across all of you. So congratulations there. And yeah, it's been fantastic stuff. Ah, there we go. That's the question I was asking earlier. My bad. It is Saturday, November the 22nd, the next Reddit Customs. So make sure you are here for that one. I'll be back on the 1st of November for mine, and then 3 weeks later, we'll be back with Reddits on the 22nd of November. So there's plenty of customs to go around if you fancy playing. Envy, maybe we'll see you playing next time. Who knows?
Maybe. Depends on if I have to cast or not. We'll see.
But that is it from us for now.
Great.
Had some fantastic game modes today. Envy, any last words before we sign off?
It was great. I was happy to be here. I was happy to do this with you. And I hope to see you again next time. If you did not get the chance to play, join the Discord for next month's customs.
Exactly right, folks. Remember, mark that date in your calendars, the 22nd of November. Those are the next PUBG Reddit community customs, and we look forward to seeing you then. Stay safe wherever you are, and we will see you next time. Take care, and good night.
Didn't mean forever. Yeah.
balance changes for SMGs in the Panzerfaust, some updates to the recall system, and a PvE collaboration flush with interesting enemies. All this and more as we dive into the Update 38.1 patch report. First up, we're doing a balance shuffle for SMGs in the Panzerfaust this update. Across the board, SMGs will have less accurate hip fire, and the MP5K is also seeing a slight reduction in damage. For the Panzerfaust, players will now be restricted from running, jumping, and vaulting while wielding this powerful weapon. And players inside a vehicle will be protected a bit, taking reduced damage from its blast. There are a couple more changes as well to make sure there's enough risk to the Panzerfaust's reward. So let us know how these changes feel. Next, the recall system is getting some alterations. Time required to register boot chips beyond the first will now increase by 5 seconds for each additional chip being registered. We've also added information about how many players are returning to the Battlegrounds with each recall, and have removed the Phase 6 recall on 8x8 maps. Once again, let us know how these changes feel once you get in-game. Next, we're dressing up a bit for spooky season with an arcade mode that gives new meaning to the term crapshoot. In this collaboration with the popular internet show Skibidi Toilet, you'll assemble your squad of 4 and plunge into Miramar to clench victory against the toilet invasion. Collect chemical cans to upgrade your weaponry and make flushing your enemy that much easier. Can your squad save Bidet? Or will you get wiped and end up number 2? Will this announcer ever run out of crappy puns? Log in and put a lid on the invasion starting October 22nd on PC and October 30th on console. We've also added destructible terrain to Miramar, which doesn't include building destruction, and updated the pass system to allow for multiple passes at once. This allows us to introduce an event pass tied to the new arcade mode, while still launching a new Survivor Pass. Now you can work on both at the same time. There's also a new ranked season, destructible gas tanks on Destin, map bug fixes, and more. So be sure to check out the patch notes for full details. Update 38.1 is here, so recall some friends, aim down the sights of those SMGs, and dump some rounds into the Skibidi toilets. We'll see you on the Battlegrounds.